I have heard good things going on in your life recently. People are talking.
Oh, like who?
Right, as the usual.
I see. Well, I may know what they're talking about, but
Jelly, weekly brunch meetings is telling me about your femoid.
No, yeah. It's that's a It's a thing. It's a thing, I suppose. Tentatively, who knows? Had a couple moments today. She's in my shower right now. I don't want to talk to.
Wait, is she really? Are you doing a review right now? I mean, not a review, a podcast.
Reido review.
Reido review. Yeah.
I mean, I said I had something. I told her I had something to do.
We can do it later. We can do it. We don't want to do it right now. It's gonna be
I suppose.
It's gonna take a while.
I know that she was gonna be busy with something else. Like she had to take like a test online or something. So
she's in your house. Your sanctum sanctorum.
I know it feels kind of wrong in some ways, but I let it happen. There's some benefits that arise out of it. Well, in the cultural carrots and sticks of the situation here. I love talking like Dan Carlin.
Oh yeah,
you have to understand the people this long ago wouldn't.
Yeah, and the book, The Study of Human Dating Relationships by Frank Garfield, he says, and the men and the women, they lived together under one roof.
yes. Famous internet historian and YouTuber Elaine writes thus, and Reido Torpedo was.
And if you ask me, that sounds terrible. Can you imagine what those men had to go through?
Yes.
Here's the fucking.
I'm listening to Thor's Angels right now, which is was a one-off, I guess. But
it's like super good. I listened to the Fall of the Republic. Man, I love context. I love context so much.
Yeah,
because I knew the story of Rome and Julius Caesar and stuff. I'm a big Julius Caesar head. As my
of course,
my proclaimed love for Little Caesar's pizza.
you gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. This Little Caesar guy, he has big roots.
Yeah, because my knowledge of Julius Caesar is kind of focused on his later lifetime, his public career, But I'm like, oh yeah, of course he won all these battles, because all the other and then it seemed like he was just I had that great man theory of history, but man, they're fucking. For 300 years, they was set up perfectly. In his lifetime, there was someone who did the exact same thing as him. And I think if more people if more people knew about history, they would completely change how we think about these kind of things, because it's true of everything.
There's so much that kind of will recontextualize your view of history. Yeah, I haven't listened to. You're talking about Death Throes of the Republic, because I haven't listened to that one yet. But it's interesting because. A lot of the guys who talk about history in the sphere, right? They all, ancient Rome is big amongst them. It is true. A lot of people are ancient Rome guys, but he covers Rome in from different angles in a bunch of the other ones. The Gaul, what is it? The
Celtic genocide.
The Celtic genocide.
I saw that one too.
Where he talks about the Gauls. Yeah, that's another part of that, and and
he skips all over. He skips over in the Death Throes.
Yeah. It's interesting. He has 3 of the Blitz ones now on the Atlantic slave trade, but from different angles. So one is I think the most recent one is specifically the Caribbean slave plantation, but it totally changed my perspective on slavery. I'm wow,
this is pretty good actually.
Well, just that that like the U.S. was actually kind of like, or I mean, there's a lot that went into the
Rebel rise up.
I just like that we think of like that a lot of people attribute slavery to like a lot of different people, but really it's like mostly the majority of it is like the Spanish and like the Portuguese, but in the one I'm listening to now, Thor's Angels, that is like that also covers the fall of the Roman Empire, but from like the like Germanic perspective, which is also really cool. Yeah, there's so many. I've been saving so many of these for a while, like little tasty treats. Like, I'm gonna strap in. Yeah, Ghosts of the Ostfront was really good. I've been kind of, because everybody really loves Wrath of the Khans, and I've been kind of waiting to finish this book I've been reading on Genghis Khan to get to that one.
Yeah.
But
I love when you just whenever like I saw the King of Kings one too. And I just like, and you know, it's rather that some of them there's always talks about like hill people on horses, and it's always like the most badass people, and they always fuck everything up, and they live forever. And it's like, it's like
that's what
I just like hearing about them.
Everybody comes out of that, because that's how he will constantly contextualize nomadic people. Anytime anybody's like remotely nomadic, I think he'll put it in like the context of the steppe peoples, or because he's talking about like at the beginning of Thor's Angels, he's talking about like where a lot of these people come from, and he's like, yeah, they all just kind of like, because there's only so much we know, they all just kind of magically came out of this area. You know, it's kind of like the steppe people with the Scythians and the Huns and
it's so great when you think about like old time history, where like you literally could just be like hanging out, and then like a whole army would show up at your door. It was like even in Roman time that happened. And it was like, what the fuck? Who are these people?
It's such that always gets the brain turning, that like you could live in a world and just not understand what is like over the horizon. That is perhaps like one of the greatest things that you get spoiled on living in the modern age, is knowing where everything is.
Or like kings of Persia being like, yeah, I rule the whole world around the Mediterranean. It's like it's like,
the world just kind of falls off.
And the far off lands of Greece. It's like, geez, it's like they have no idea what Asia is, like, at all. They like Caesar called like fucking like it's still like within walking distance of the Mediterranean Asia. Like it's not even like the Parthians or Asians. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? It's amazing. Oh, and one thing that was like the biggest thing for me probably was in the Celtic Holocaust, he could mix the comparison to the Native Americans. Because the Celtics had like hundreds of thousands of soldiers. That's another
one he likes to rope into people.
But it's crazy because like I didn't know anything, like the Native Americans, like you hear about them and you hear like, oh, they all died, like whatever, and like in the fight, but they only had like at most like thousands of warriors to fight.
That's something he covers in one of the slave trade things, because he's like, you know, they made the settlers made contact with Native Americans, but like most people, there were like millions of them, and that you never made contact with, or that most of the modern world never, or most of the like most of their like the settlers never even like, because they were just wiped out by the disease the settlers spread.
Because when you hear about that, you're like, oh yeah, trading blankets or whatever, they died. But it's like, no, it wiped out like 98% of the population.
Which is insane. Like 98% of the population. It's just so much. And to think that there's like just so many things that we don't know probably about the Native Americans,
you just want them to have like the same like kind of Celtic like Vercingetorix, like hundreds of thousands of soldiers ready to fight off the colonial. I remember when I finished Celtic Holocaust, I sent you Mulligan Tire. I was like, I fucking hate Julius Caesar.
But then you know, you hear it from a totally like, you know, so Julius Caesar's based. He
is based and cool, but it's like genocide is bad.
That's like, oh man, but the because thinks the Celts are also cool. Like that's also like, oh man, you kind of wish you could get a taste of a little bit of all of it. But that's like the Native American thing really got, because in my mind, always thinking about history, about like what little I always knew about the Native Americans, I was like, well, really, like what would have happened if like they were untouched for like a few more centuries or even a millennia. But like thinking about it, I was like, actually they had way more people like that. I don't know, something interesting could have come out of there. But
I think the most interesting, like, not if like they had more time, because like I don't know, They might have like settled down, made cities and stuff, but like
maybe.
But like this, the disease thing, just like
yeah,
if they put more of a fight, we'd have like it would be like white people majority population, like Native Americans would be like the majority population, white people would be like a minority.
Well, and
like,
that's
even if
why,
we live peacefully, like
that's why Native Americans weren't really like a huge candidate for a slave race. Like they tried enslaving a lot of the Native Americans, but they were not resistant to like any of those diseases. So that's why in effect like Africans ended up being like, because they brought other white people as slaves too. It's like it was just like trial and error until they found people that would not like die.
Yeah,
which
was different. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's not. I'm trying to think about it's the one of the most. It's I guess it's not even in this thing. It's like the most recent one. And then history under the influence is a different. I listened to that one, but yeah, it's like one of the other blitzes or I don't even think this one has all this mega I'm looking at has all this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I love Dan Carlin.
I love history.
I love history.
I love knowing things. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's kind of goes into what I want to talk about in this interview. Is that me and you have? I've been recording this whole time. Me and you, we have a lot of I think most of the pronoun we have like we're like the most similar wavelength. I know me and Jelly have kind of like a thing. Well,
there's connection on different levels. You know, there's like, but I do think back to the classic, the classic digi neurotyping chart. You know, we were those what was it called? Overseers? Is that the?
Well, were we overseers? We were the same one. Was the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend to we wore the same shirts, that one thing, which was funny.
Yeah, it was like we're on a date together.
We definitely didn't look super gay. Which is so surprising that you have a girlfriend now. Like I just assumed.
Oh well, you know, there's you know, who knows? Maybe I'll give up. Maybe I'll give up in the future.
It won't work out. Yeah, just trying new things.
Yeah, just gay things. You know?
Yeah, hashtag just gay things. Dating women.
No, yeah, it was kind of an unexpected development too. You know, there's always there's a little more to it, but
oh, so
you know, my no, not that.
You're
but, you know,
arranged by your parents.
My patience is tried very frequently. So you know, sometimes I think you know maybe it's time to pack it up. I think we just call it an owl for go into hibernation for another 5 years, maybe. See.
All right, so you're saying you're close to introducing her as one of the boys. Is her name Miranda by any chance?
No, it is Miranda.
She's one of the boys.
No, certainly nowhere near that. That's what I'm trying to avoid the most.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, keep everything separate. You know, I don't let the peas touch the mashed potatoes. IRL, I love when peas touch mashed potatoes, but
some foods,
not here.
I think in general, I don't like foods touching, but some foods are allowed to touch if they complement each other.
Yeah, you got it's all about texture and you know, mouthfeel, as they say, the mouthfeel.
Do you have any weird eating quirks, Reido?
I'm just a voracious eater. I just inhale. Sometimes to the effect of grossing out people around me, or the like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Why are you just
are you choking? What's going on?
Yeah. Did you even wash your hands before? Like that kind of thing. You know, just I will basically I like shovel food in my mouth, and sometimes you know I worry if I'm digesting everything properly, but you know I do okay.
It doesn't sound like it. Yeah, I force feed myself. I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I got a tube. You know, I don't even like tasting at this point. No, tasting it is everything. I just like the feel of food going in my mouth. I always regret eating afterwards. So it's...
You just look in the mirror and you feel fat and you want to throw up.
Yeah, I'm like, I probably could have done without these extra. I was just at Cheesecake Factory, which I've never been to Cheesecake Factory before, but they list they list the calories and all their menu items, and everything is like like 1,000 calories. It's like, oh, this is okay. So between the $20 pasta entree and this piece of cheesecake, I've got all my caloric intake for the day. I don't need anything else, but I know I'm going to be snacking once I'm done breaking all this down. So yeah, I can't help myself. It's a bit of a problem on some days. That and milk. I drink milk by the liter.
In the gallon.
The gallon, yeah. Well, smaller size. It's easier to grip, like a liter of milk. Like you can just carton? Sit back. You can sit back. Yeah, a carton, or like I've been buying this really nice, like locally milked milk. It's very creamy. Locally milked. Yeah.
This is the girlfriend again, right?
Yeah, I wish. I wish. Listen, dude, I've been trying, but it is not happening. Like, please, there has to be like a service. There has to be like a service for like nursing mothers with extra. It all goes to like other mothers, but when do some of us get the love? Yeah, where's the extra breast milk for us?
Asking the real questions.
Yeah. Even just a little, something I can mix like a cocktail with.
Yeah,
have like a little white Russian with breast milk.
From a white Russian.
Yeah, that's where it comes. It has nothing to do with the milk at all. It's the woman. The cocktail's named after the woman that was milked.
If only you could live in such a world. But alas. So Reido, do you want to get into the actual interview and not just talk about dumb shit like we always do?
Sure.
I don't even.
Yeah, what you got for me? I don't know what to expect.
I don't know what to expect either. This is kind of an impulse thing. I was listening to the Sean interview again. Like it just popped up in my recommendations. I was like, I don't know, Sean.
It was funny. You mentioned, you said you DM'd me interview, and I'm like, I thought about it first. I was like, interview? What? I was like, oh yeah, those existed, didn't they? I totally forgot.
I guess it kind of bugs me that I didn't finish everyone.
Yeah, kind of like a. I mean, I just figured, it would slowly happen over the course of
years,
10, 20 years. Where Zach Death's literally a skeleton getting interviewed
at his funeral. Yeah.
He would be the kind of guy to have a bunch of pre-prepared responses. He'd be like, this is what I would say. This is what I would.
Yeah.
One could only know. One could only know by asking him in advance. But
he wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
He'd probably leave with like a bunch of riddles. That seems like the kind of thing Zach would do.
Well, he is the Riddler.
The Paul Dano Riddler.
Yeah. Yes.
No one's gonna know what that fucking means.
Yeah. We didn't know what Zach looked like for the longest time. And Dune, you sent me a picture of Paul Dano's Riddler, and he's like, Zach Death. And I hadn't seen that movie, so I was like, wait, is this real? And I said for like a couple weeks, I thought that was what he actually looked like. It was a good picture to confuse it with. It's not like it was the does he know?
Yeah, it was like I looked up Paul Dano selfie, and it was like the one.
It was like with another. It was like with a woman. I was like, oh, that's Zach and his girlfriend. Oh, that makes sense.
I didn't know who she was. I was like, it's just Paul Dano selfie. So I was like, yeah, it's his girlfriend. Like, I don't know. Jelly believed it for months, and he got really mad.
They got me good. They got me good.
No, what a fool.
It feels good to pull one over on Jelly. I got him with a good D's nuts joke the other day. He normally sees him coming from a mile away.
Well, he just says D's nuts to whatever you say to him.
Well, so, he got really uncreative, but he always tried to squeeze some in there. I saw some other guy pull off a D's nuts joke. It was about beekeeping, and I was in the car. I was like, hey Jelly, do you know? I can't remember, what do they call the people who like raise bees? He's like a beekeeper. Like, I'd be keeping these nuts in your mouth. He was exasperated. I put him on his ass. I laid him out.
One time at 2 a.m, he was the only person in the call, and I just joined on my phone. And I was like, hey Jelly, you have Xbox Game Pass, right? He was like, yeah, I have Xbox Game Pass. I was like, you play that pirate game that the one, the pirate game? He was like, it's mean Sea of Thieves. I was like, yeah, Sea of Thieves nuts fit in your mouth. And I left the call.
It's funny because he has played that game.
I know, that's why I said it, because I knew it'd get him. I was like, I'll just make him pretend I want to hang out with him, and I'll get him with a funny joke.
Yeah, you have to hook him. He wasn't actually interested. Oh, yeah. Man.
Fuck you, Jelly. Yeah, the interview. Right.
Shuffles, of course.
Shuffles papers.
Yeah, I don't. What do you got for me, Dan?
I was gonna say, I was listening to the Sean interview, and I don't really have anything. Like, I always go these things pretty loosey goosey. The first time for Cecil I had questions, and then for Jelly I made fun of him for like an hour and a half. And for Sean just can talk. Sean can talk for hours. I don't know how he does it. Like, he just doesn't.
I think Sean has a lot of stuff he needs to get out. A lot of meditations on subjects like Call of Duty. The best saved for lectures. You know, need to get him working on his next lecture.
He'd probably be like a good history teacher or something, right?
Yeah,
that boy can talk. It's a skill that not everyone has.
You should go back to school for teaching or something. Maybe I'll try to slowly pill him into doing that. And
education code.
Until he listens to this and is like, I will never become a teacher.
Yeah.
I think his one of his family members is a teacher or something. I don't remember, but he's got teaching blood. All right, he's cut out for it.
He's descended from Aristotle. Did you follow that?
Yeah, that's there's like a CG. Somebody makes like a CG recreation of what Aristotle actually looked like, and it's like Sean's. It's like Sean's form to a T. Like they like shaved off the beard in the rendering, and it's just like Sean.
Even has glasses.
Yeah. And neck lurched forward like a.
Well, he does have the Caesar haircut.
True, he could be. He could be a
great orator. Yeah.
Sean Donacy's.
Adon, that's Italian.
Sean Adoni. Something a little more Latin sounding. Get a.
I believe he's Italian.
Well, Sean, here's your opening.
He's got to be something.
Yeah, got to do something, Sean.
Might as well be a dictator. Might as well commit genocide.
Yeah, that's when I'm at the end of my wits. That's what I say. Yeah, well, all else is lost. Might as well just genocide.
Yeah. Whenever I feel down, a government agent contacts me and tells me to commit a genocide.
God, I'm waiting for these government agents to come buy me free guns. I'm like,
I'll do the thing. Like,
you just free gun. Just I'm throwing it out there.
Simply a price issue.
They're buying them all. Daniel Defense ARs. Those don't come cheap. I could sure use one.
Yeah.
Nice try, FBI. Nice try, feds.
Yeah.
They'll never get me.
Man, I hate the government so much.
Yeah. I was wondering, like if you can't beat them, like I was like, what does it take to become an ATF agent? And they're like, okay, you need this, and this. I'm like, too much work. Yeah, no, the government does suck though.
I was reading up on the Unabomber.
Ted Kaczynski, man.
Yeah, he's like, I've heard about like civilized industrial society. Like, oh yeah, funny. And I was reading about it. I was like, you know what?
He's making
some good points.
Yeah, and he's a Fed victim. He was a victim of MK Ultra. He was a test subject, and they got him. He clearly scrambled. Well, they scrambled his brains in a good question mark direction. I mean, he was bombing no good, but he I think he's the one spiking the average IQ for bomb users in this country.
If you take him out, it's just a straight 100.
Yeah,
flat.
Just average, middle of the road. They do say bombs are the choice of weapon by the terrorists of highest IQ,
like the Muslims.
Well, I mean, maybe they know more than we do. Maybe
all the answers are in that cube of theirs.
Inshallah, perhaps. I think. I mean, they're hiding something in that box. It's got to be something so good.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? The Dan Carlin hardcore history about the Japanese war, supernova in the East, the kamikaze stuff. I did not know.
Oh yeah,
because everyone knows about kamikaze. Like, oh, the Japanese.
Yeah, they're like, oh, those Japanese, they're also fanatical.
Yeah.
They'd love to die for their country. It's like, well, most of them did not. It wasn't their first choice.
But it was like a societal like mandate. Like,
yeah,
you will die for the we are losing so badly. You will die.
And well, because they often pick like
liberals,
people who had committed liberals or people who had committed like some minor offenses or something like that, or like basically anything that went like against the government. I think they those were the first ones to. Yeah, it sounds so depressing though. Like you get put up in a dorm like the night before, and you're like, well, guys, this is it. But
yeah, it's just like you are picked to die for Japan. It's like, okay, I guess I'll die for Japan. I'll get like a big promotion. My family get money, and I'll die with honor, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's what's happening. In industrial pre-post-war, just Japan during World War II does not seem like a happy place to be. It seems like kind of a crazy place to be. But
yeah, but it was really interesting going back to 1850 and it is all the U.S.'s fault as usual, but
yeah, they were instigating it. I mean, there's a bit of there's a bit of blame to push around.
Before that, the way the society with the Bushido, the samurai didn't have a place inside, so they just put them in office jobs. Like, okay, you can be a regional manager or something, and just but you still have that fucking Bushido code. So
it's wow, yeah, that's. I mean, it's got to be how a lot of vets feel, right? Coming back after military, it's like, well, I have all this military experience. What am I?
I guess I'll work at Target.
That's that seems bleak.
It's kind of rough. But yeah, it is the U.S.'s fault. The one thing that was the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. It was their fault. It's like, why are all the U.S. ships at Pearl Harbor? Why do you think that was? Why do you think it's obviously everything is in hindsight, everything is obviously this will happen, but
they knew what they were doing, and that that white devil, dropping those bombs. They knew exactly what they were doing. Those gaijin,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we were losing at first, so then it just Japan can make one airship carrier a year, and with the US can make 6. It's like, well, yeah, eventually they'd lose.
That's it is the whole the turn in war technology is fascinating. Or I never I knew a lot, or I knew an amount about fighting in the islands, but I never knew about the whole Papua New Guinea thing, or just how bleak that was. And I didn't, honestly, before that, I knew Japan had, they'd committed some war crimes here and there.
Yeah, everyone knows.
I didn't know about the bayoneting the Filipino babies, and all the horrible stuff they did in the islands to the non.
And you want to be because the Japan's we're gonna save the Asians, and we're gonna be unify Asia. And
it was their turn.
Yeah, and then they're also we're gonna kill everybody because we're gonna be the new rulers. We're gonna fucking own everybody. And it's no, if they had just been worked together with China and all the other islands, they would have been the good guys. And it's you fucked up.
Yeah,
you try to be like everybody else.
Yeah, when they want to become a colonial power, and the Western world's hey, you're gonna have to give that back.
Be a colonial power. Only we can be colonial powers.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you just have to say no. There's no what recourse does a country like Japan have?
You don't colonize your own neighbors, though. You colonize people far away.
Well, who else far? I mean, they couldn't go to they couldn't go to the U.S. They couldn't go to. I mean, they were already fighting. They'd already fought with Russia.
I mean, if you just got to team up with China and then just move, and then maybe pick up some friends along the way and just keep moving to the West.
That would be interesting. You know, you do that and you end up with a non communist China. You end up with like because like that, I think that basically opened the door for like Soviet influence in China. If
China was in a civil war, like while World War II was happening.
Was it Chiang Kai-shek? Is that
I don't know, the whites and the reds or something? That's right, isn't it?
The whites and the reds and the.
There's communists.
When was the Boxer Rebellion? Was that 1800s, 1700s?
Yeah, I think so.
My Chinese history is not so.
Yeah.
Late 1800s. Yeah. So a little bit before, you know, World War I, you've got the Boxer Rebellion in China, the kicking out all those.
There's just so many
industrial powers.
What ifs in that like whole time period.
Yeah, it is like learning a lot of this stuff. You kind of are forced to realize like how precarious a balance has been struck in history to like get to like everything we have, that we could be living in an entirely different world, or like
yeah, it's like what if in 1850 Japan became a U.S. colony?
Yeah, but yeah, in 1850. But then that happened. Who would we have gotten? Anime? Would we have gotten J-pop? Would we have gotten Garuga Mesh?
Maybe it would have been worth it. Maybe we should have wiped them out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's hard to you know, dropping those bombs. All the firebombing and stuff. A lot of people died. Real shame. But like, anime. Kind of, you know, there are pros and cons. Pros and cons here.
And learning about the nuclear war, like, obviously in hindsight, we can be like, yeah, you probably shouldn't drop nukes on people. But it's like at times, it's like, well, we're already bombing them. We'll just use a bigger bomb. It's like, guys, it's like, come on, Truman. You've been in office for like a week. Can't fucking do this. It's like, yeah.
Well, best that we did it first before you know, anybody else got their grubby hands. You know, I do wonder. You know, are we gonna see nuclear war again in our lifetime? Probably not. Maybe
in our lifetime. I don't know. It did kind of change. Like everyone knows, like, oh, if we use nuclear war, it's because the current cultural idea of nuclear war is that, okay, once we do nuclear war, it's over. Like, you know, like that's it, right? And that is
you have like deterrence,
which is not really true. Because I was watching there's a blitz about I feel it was about nukes, but
yeah,
and they're like, the only way nukes really work is like, because even if you drop like a thermonuclear bomb on somebody, it's like it's not gonna end the world. It's like it'll block out like that city, but it'll be like, everything will be kind of fine. But it's like they only really threatening because we only use them once. Like it's the fear of nuclear warfare is what keeps things, you know, simmering.
Yeah,
but it's like if we started using them,
there's still a lot of military conflicts around the world. We just don't do the whole.
We just like play with gloves.
Yeah, I mean, but there are other similar arms that aren't like technically like nuclear. It's like it's like bear. God, what's that? It's like a. There's like a kind of and it's a very large explosion, but it's not. I think it's technically not like a nuclear bomb. It's like I can't remember what it's called. It's some very. It doesn't get used a lot, but. Yeah, that and like nukes, like modern nukes too, are all like ICBMs. Like they're not like the same. They're not. Most of them aren't bombs. So like they're very tactical, and they wouldn't be like in the same capacity as like a nuclear bomb would be. It's much. But like, I think it's like a smaller scale.
They are like but like they're thinking about that, like because like first I got to start back in the 50s because like I want to talk about it. They're like people right after World War II were like, hey, we're the U.S. were like. Hey, we're the only people who have bombs. We should like nuke Russia like right now, because they knew that even then they're like, we're gonna have to fight a war with Russia eventually. Let's just nuke them now and like get it over. And like, yeah, we'll be bad guys. But like even people who are like, we should not have a nuclear bomb. But since we have nuclear bombs, we should just bomb Russia right now. It's like Jesus. It's like, maybe Ukraine would appreciate it though.
Yeah, well, yeah, perhaps today. Yeah, and that's something you hear from like older people too. Growing up, is they're like, yeah, well, you know, we had to like, you know, do bomb training, and I like, one of the schools in the area that I grew up in had had a built-in bomb shelter into the school. And I think there are a lot of older schools that have that in the U.S. too. And it's like, well, that was like some of the biggest fear mongering for like a decade, for the greater part of a decade, right? Like, or even longer, right? I guess
yeah, but
it coincide with the Red Scare.
Why do you think we don't have bomb shelters anymore? Like, why do you think like that kind of fell off or fell out of fashion? Is it just because
man, bomb shelters really fell off?
I said fell off, and I didn't really say like I like fucking fell out of fashion. But because the threat is still there.
Yeah. I do. I like. They're just not. Maybe they exist and we just don't know. I mean,
well, I'm sure like the president and like famous people have like bomb shelters they can go.
Yeah.
Like, why are we not doing
bunkers.
Bomb training in school?
I don't know. Maybe they're fine. Maybe they're like, we've got too many people at this point, so we could probably shave a little off the top.
Or do you think like their defense? They have so much faith in their like defense system to like.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think people just don't really like think about like it's not really like in the minds of people. Like when you ask people like, hey, a lot of people are gonna die tomorrow. Guess how? Like, I don't know how many of them would really guess like nuclear attack anymore. Like that was like a thing from our like grandparents' generation, right? Or like,
but
even,
there are more
maybe
nukes
even,
in the world than there were then.
Them. Yeah. It's just like, I guess. I mean, nobody. We've got all these new. We should really do something with. They're just sitting around. It's point. You've got to have some fun. Take them out for a spin.
It's probably just like we didn't live through the time where nukes were used. It's like after.
True. Yeah.
It's like how we don't worry about like getting attacked by a bear anymore. It's like I don't know.
Yeah. How many people have even seen a bear in real life? Yeah. That's not in the zoo.
Who has been in that situation? It's like, but 100,000 years ago, like some caveman is probably like, I think about it every day. I think we get attacked by a bear every single day of my life.
You go into the woods and you see a bear. You're like, I'm gonna go get a gun when I get back.
I'm gonna invent guns.
I'm gonna invent guns. I need to get these fucking bears out of here. Grug go get Sling for his. They didn't just have like bear spray back then. Was it? Piss on the bears. What would they do? What would they do?
Probably didn't.
I guess they just have to. They just have to do the. They have to just scream at them and seem big. You ever seen videos of that where the guys will like raise their arms up and yell at the bears?
Does that even work?
Successfully back. Yeah. I saw there's like a video of I saw recently of a guy doing that, and he's like, it was. I guess it's like a younger bear. I think it depends on what kind of, like, you could do it to like younger male bears, I think, but if it's like a older mother bear like that, and they have like children around, like they're going to they're basically, you just being around, they're probably going to come and fuck you up.
So you probably just want to walk away.
Yeah, I think there was that. Did you see that video that it's like a dude climbing, he's like on like a small cliff face, and a bear straight up like jumps jumps at him while he's like from above, like while he's climbing,
and he kicks at it and stuff.
Yeah, he like kicks at it. He holds on. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I probably would have like accidentally fallen off or something. Like, it's terrifying to see, but you just you have to stand your ground with bears. Okay. I don't know. Big animals are terrifying.
Yeah.
People just kind of forget.
Also, small animals. I hate bugs.
Oh, yeah. Well, bugs are a whole different thing. Like, I'm just annoyed by bugs. Where I'm at. But if you go somewhere like the Amazon, like that's where.
But yeah,
you could just die from a bug touching you. Like,
I just don't like them. I don't want them in my house. I don't want them in or near my house. Like, I don't want to see them. Like, they can live in the forest. They can live. I don't like. Just go.
Yeah, can we invent zoning laws for bugs? Start giving them tickets.
Yeah. Sometimes genocide is okay if it's against bugs. I feel like.
We just people are like, people talking about eating bugs is the future. Like, we got to start farming bugs. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't want to see like some bug farm accidentally like explode or something, and like 20 million bugs are flying, like 20 million roaches that crawl into like my city or something like that. Like I just foresee it going wrong in like all of these ways. Like I I don't think we need to bring more, but I think we've got just about enough bugs as it
Coming
is.
home with a sweat on my brow, putting my hat on the coat rack. My loving wife says, "What's wrong, honey?" And I say, just another rough day at the bug factory."
You're operating the bug press. You push a button and it stamps
Yeah,
down a bunch of
pull
bugs
it
into some
over,
paste.
it makes a bug into a hamburger.
It's like funny dystopian like ad. Enjoy a bug burger. Like it's
Bug
just
burger, yeah.
yummy. Dad, can we go get bug burgers? well, son.
You had bug burgers. Your mother's cooking delicious bug burgers for us at home.
Bug steak surprise.
Yeah.
Healthy and nutritious. Plenty of protein.
Show the woman in your life you care for it by buying some bug chocolate.
Edible bug arrangements.
Yeah. Edible bugs. It's just like a fucking hive. It's like a beehive.
Yeah, you have bug state shills like Michelle Tobin out here going on stream eating bugs. Like they're the people eating bugs for attention on the internet. I detest. You know, they're encouraging this this new bug state. This
The bug world order.
yeah, it's a Bill.
This is all a ploy from Big Spider.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bill Bugs, inventor of Bugrasoft, wants the world to eat bugs, but
apples. What lives in apples? Worms. What are worms? Kind of like bugs. Makes sense.
Oh, true.
That makes sense.
Worms
The
are cool.
beetles. Apple.
No. You can
sense.
fish with worms though. I'm down with. I guess you can fish with other bugs, but worms are the quintessential like fish bait.
Yeah, I love. You ever go fishing? You go fishing a lot, Vito?
Fish? Yeah, go fishing a lot. Not a lot. I used to go on like a camping trip where every year I'd fish, and I have like I was just looking at my fishing rod in the garage the other day. I thought, I should, I should get out sometime. I guess when it gets to spring, go fishing. I do like fishing, but if most of my days have just been kind of days, not necessarily good days, because if they were good, I'd be fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been fishing in quite a while. I kind of want to go. There's plenty of fishing spots around.
Yeah, let's go on a Georgia fishing trip.
We should. I live like down the street. We can go to a bait and tackle shop.
Yo,
fishing's fun. Like I don't know. I never gone camping though. I don't know.
Camping is also fun. I was just thinking that I should also go camping again. There's a lot of great camping spots in Michigan to go camp. I just around the U.S. in general. I guess like there's so much like space. You can just kind of so many parks that you could just go camping out.
I don't know what's the appeal. I don't know. Just sleeping outside.
Yeah, I mean, so you have to like be good. I mean, there's like a certain familiarity you have to have with camping to like do it okay. Like you have to be willing to have fun in the woods. Like, you sit around a fire with your friends. You maybe, I don't know, maybe you're doing something like going hunting. You're just, I don't know, shooting the shit, or like, it's just kind of nice to just be out in nature and be quiet. Like you sleep out in the woods, and sometimes you hear rustling animals in the darkness, and you're like, I don't know, it's neat. It's neat. It's just kind of like you're in fresh air for.
Isn't camping you just go? Well, first of all, I don't go camping with. I mean, I have friends who went camping in the past, and I'm like, I don't know.
You go on like hikes and stuff, and it's like it's fun to cook food around a fire too. It's like you have fire. Humans being around fire is like a very
fun thing.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like crucial to human identity. Be able to like do things around a fire.
It's
I feel like that's
technology.
Yes, yes. The first technology. Prometheus stole it for us, and we're ever so grateful.
Man's red flower, as I say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of neat. It's like sometimes I get tired of it, like, or I'll be like, I'm ready to be done, but it's I don't know.
I thought you were talking
You
about
kind of
fire.
oh yeah, fire, a little old hat,
Yeah.
little
Electric, electric.
yeah. I'm more into arc lighting now. That's
electricity. Yeah, that's cool. You know that fucking light bulb, the oldest light bulb in the world, whatever.
yeah, the one in like the firehouse.
Yes, how's that bad boy still going?
It's like a different filament, or like they just made it stronger.
I heard
like,
they made light bulbs back because originally they made light bulbs. They were
yeah,
super great, and then they're like, we can't sell these, so you have to make them really bad.
yeah. I heard that story too. Like like all the light bulb people got together, like all the different light bulb manufacturers got together, and were like, yeah, we got to do something about this
Because they're too good.
That I've seen that oldest working light bulb before, and it's like it's going, but it's also like not super bright. Like I wonder if you could make like the new ones like or like as good as the new ones, and also just keep them going. Like I wonder how that works out. But
and the same thing with tires. Like there are ways to make tires that aren't like they don't fucking break all the time. It's like then you wouldn't buy new tires, so it's like they don't do it.
Tires are expensive too. It's not fun buying. Yeah, well, you think somebody tried to come along and make some. Surely people have tried, right?
No, this is not like a conspiracy theory. That's like a confirmed fact. That
no, I mean like people have tried to like make competitor, but with like Oh yeah, wait, wasn't there that like guy who what was it? There was some guy who invented some solution to a problem like that, or like something to like replace the combustion engine, like that it ran on like
water.
Yeah,
and
then
died.
Yeah, mysteriously died right after he announced this. Like
just like the guy who cured cancer, also mysteriously died.
Was there some guy who claimed to have cured cancer and then died or went missing?
Yeah. You can't keep. I mean, the money's too good.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of the world that just does run around on the auto industry. I feel like planes are the big thing for me. Like if you could make air travel like because it's not even like a lot of these like companies are really even like some of them have a hard time staying in business.
I think you can make planes better.
Yeah, I mean
they just don't.
So some people have claimed that they know how, but they're like not doing anything, or like
because they've gotten worse since the fucking 50s and stuff.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, it's like it's kind of true.
I don't. It's because I think it's because they want to like. I forget why, but I think they want to fit more people on them or something. It's like,
yeah, that's like a big thing. Is they're constantly trying to redesign. Like I think I saw some like Chinese, it was like some new model for like a new Chinese plane, and it was like how to squeeze as many people as possible into a plane, and it's like the chairs are like layered over, like you're basically like cramped. You've got like a foot of space to. I don't know. It's just like. It feels like inhumane, like you're being herded in, I think I was on a Spirit flight sometime in the last couple years, and yeah, it does feel like you're being herded in like cattle. Like you get these like plastic bucket seats, they're like uncomfortable, and it's just like they're clearly making way more money off of like the tickets are cheap, but they've got like way more people on there, so yeah, it's not ideal. But luxury air travel probably also makes them a lot of money too.
Everything's kind of sucks, and I hate it.
Yeah. I kind of just want to destroy the world.
No, I kind of want to send bombs in the mail to people who build roads.
Yeah. Maybe Ted was onto something. Can maybe send some letter. Was that news reel of Greta Thunberg sending letters to Ted Kaczynski? I hope it is.
I hope it was too. I think they'd be great friends.
Best pen pals.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg is a weird cultural moment in history, isn't it? A lot of 14-year-old girls be allowed to say, you guys shouldn't pollute, and then everybody on the internet gets mad at her for it.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of feels. It feels kind of like crass, almost like putting a girl like that on like the world stage, and like surely like somebody like maybe the obvious like the angle is like people's like hearts, that like a young person is like tugging at people's hearts, that like a young person is saying this, but uh that surely you can get somebody a little more well spoken to do this, right? Or like somebody maybe, and I guess people have
I don't
tried,
know,
but
but it's like, is it any worse than like having the for just 10 cents a day you could save these children in Africa, and they should have said,
yeah.
or like
Well,
I will remember you, and the
yeah.
pictures of the sad dogs.
I mean, people don't want to be preached to, They want to
But
be,
no one watched that live. It was just it was like a fucking political
yeah,
thing, wasn't it? They just saw that it happened. Nobody watched the actual speech.
yeah,
Like, I don't know, fucking who cares?
yeah. I'm over it. Global warming. I'm over it. Fuck it. Honestly,
It has been hot lately. It's fucking November. I'm sweating. It's dumb.
Yeah, I was. It was like 68 the other day. I'm like, this is usually not this warm, and like today it's like 20 degrees colder, and it'll fluctuate. It'll bounce around a lot, but
That's a sign of global warming, climate change.
yeah, yeah. Gosh, and it's interesting, like, because like a lot, it's a thing a lot of people have like an opinion on, but like everybody is it's different for a lot of people. Like even within my own family, like some of my family members are very like y- uh big on global warming and stuff. My like my
They love
dad
it.
just my dad just doesn't, like, he's like he doesn't believe in it. He doesn't believe that like it just
In
in
the
any of
globe.
it, I guess.
He doesn't believe in the globe.
Honestly, if he was if he was flat Earth, I think that we're cooler than just kind of being like
And a dumb person.
like a Fox News global warming is fake kind of thing. Like,
Does Fox News even say global warming is fake? I thought it was. I thought the
I
conversation
don't-
had shifted into like
I don't
how
know.
serious it was, or the causes. Do they say it's fake still?
I do I sound like I watch Fox News? Maybe,
Maybe I don't know. Do
I
I?
like to keep people on their toes, keep guessing. A big Rupert Murdoch fan. Love the guy.
I got into an argument with my old roommates because I didn't want to one of them got mad at me because I'd leave dishes in the sink, and I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just buy paper plates and plastic cups, so you don't have to do dishes. Like, that seems like a fair compromise, right? And they got mad, like, you're polluting. This is horrible. I was like, and I got really mad. I was like, my fucking contributions to, I could use 1,000 of these every day and not have a single like 0.00% chance of impacting global warming in any way. It's fucking people dumping gallons of oil into the fucking ocean. It's like nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's like a big that always gets me, is like when people try to make it your responsibility, and like, well, come on, man.
I didn't turn the light bulb off from killing penguins. It's like, no, it's nothing to do with me. It's definitely corporations have definitely brainwashed you into thinking this is a thing that individual people can stop. It's like, no, it's like they are the ones doing it. So yeah, what do you do?
Shrug. Yeah, you just be like, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. And then buy like twice use twice the amount of paper plates.
I think I was smoking after that, actually.
You're at that point, you're polluting your own body. Here.
Yeah. Well, I'm part of the earth. We're all connected. Mother Earth. As a child, I was very impacted by a Garfield comic strip where he's in bed. He's like, I woke up late. I'm fat. I'm lazy. I don't do anything. I need a change in my life. Maybe I'll pick up smoking. And I was like, and then I was like, you know what? Real. That's spaced. That was my favorite Garfield strip as a child.
I've definitely had moments like that. Like, this is wrong. What am I doing? I need to do something to make myself feel more miserable, so I feel less bad about whatever else it is, or when coworkers that annoy me say they're gonna quit smoking. That's when I'll buy a pack. I don't smoke, but then I'll buy a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, just to hang around them.
Yeah.
Just to wait, just waft it under their noses.
Yeah, they're So they're foaming at the mouth or salivating.
Yeah.
Like, just a little nibble. Just a steak and potatoes.
Yeah.
Tasty.
I actually kind of got off that. I used to be a smoker, a big drinker, a big weeder.
Yeah.
I've kind of gone clean. I haven't done it. Like I threw away my vape pen. Like what?
Oh, good.
Like what? Yeah, I was like, I don't know, this fucking sucks, and I threw it away. And I was like, I don't know.
Vaping is kind of lame anyway. Like I just it's not as cool as smoke.
Well, first of all, yes, that's true. But it's also it's more satisfying than smoking though.
Yeah, I think somebody had like it was like an Onion article or something. Like scientists synthesize new way to get nicotine without vaping. They call it cigarette. It's like like reinventing the cigarette for vapors.
Yeah, because I hadn't used it in like months, and I was like, and I tried. Then I got another pack of another like thing of CBD, Delta 8. I was like,
I don't know how I feel about the Delta 8 stuff. Simon really likes it.
It's definitely not as good as weed, like actual weed. But it's like okay.
People swear. Some people swear by it, and I heard like I work with a lot of stoners, right? I got guys who like can't help but like do dabs every day. Like they're like they're just like totally on that. But the I asked them how they felt about Delta 8, and they're like, "Whoa, that stuff is like I would never smoke that."
No, it's fine.
It's like
if weed is like a nice Jack Daniel, a nice swig of Jack Daniels,
and whiskey on the rocks.
Whiskey on the rocks. Then Delta 8 is like a Corona. You just have a quick one after work,
Sure, yeah.
Because it doesn't like have it before work or at work.
Is it less like is it really like is it kind of like a lighter?
It's lighter. It doesn't make you as like weird. It just makes you kind of tired, like it's relaxing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like okay. It's like you can do it before you go to just hang out. You could definitely function normally with it. Even if you smoke.
Maybe that's more up my alley. I feel like I can't keep up with the way some other people smoke me down these days.
I'm getting old. Like I haven't drank in a long time either. It's just like
well, you were saying you might have some different reasons for that.
Well, I used to be a heavy drinker, and then I like kind of weaned off and got into like beer. And then I was like, I don't know if I can only care about that anymore.
When were you into beer?
I guess last year.
Last year.
Yeah, like this whole like for a while. Like I haven't had a heavy alcohol in a long time, like months. Like
interesting. I guess I kind of missed that Dune arc.
Yeah, I haven't been around much. I've been like it's not like I'm gonna make my life better. Just like I don't know. I've been doing other stuff.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I kept saying I was gonna come down to hang out with everyone, and then it just never happened. Everybody's real bad at planning stuff.
I told you could come live with me. I live in this empty house by myself. $500 a month. Could have lived with me.
Oh shoot! Well, every day I think I get closer to being fed up.
Oh,
fed up with the system, man.
It's too late now. I bought a base. I don't need you anymore.
you've got I got
my
all the space taken up. Yeah, all the. that's what you wanted me for, huh? That's all I'm good for is
yeah.
But Dune, do you have all these cool effects pedals?
No, I don't. I have a Boss Katana though. It has the built-in effects.
Yeah, Boss has been making some cool stuff. I know they've got some.
It's Yamaha. Do you know that? Yamaha owns Boss.
They do.
Yeah.
I didn't know that actually. For some reason, I just thought that Boss was like
they're the
part
boss.
of like I thought they were part of like Roland or something. Or is that like another? Am I thinking? Oh no, is that like Digitech? I thought Roland made some like effects pedals. Or something.
I think they do. They have the chorus amp.
Yeah,
that's what Masayoshi
Takanaka.
Yeah,
really.
He has.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see. Roland effects pedal. Because maybe is it? No, yeah, I guess they do have their own. or Boss. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing Boss stuff pop up, but I don't. Maybe or Yamaha owns Roland now. I don't know. Does produced and developed by Roland. Oh yeah, so maybe maybe Yamaha owns Roland, or maybe they sold Boss as a brand or something like that. I don't know how this is
Oh,
working.
Boss is owned by Roland.
Yeah.
Okay, Boss is owned by Roland.
That's what I was looking at here.
Who owns Roland?
I don't know. Does anyone
Is anyone else on Roland?
Who's on first? Who owns Roland? Chairman Ikutada Kakehashi of President and I guess Roland Corporation doesn't look like they're owned by anyone else. Yeah, Japanese manufacturer of electronic instruments. I actually didn't know that Roland was Japanese for the longest time.
Korg bought Yamaha and Roland? What?
Oh, so wait, no, it's all Korg? It always has been. I don't know how long that has. Yeah, I don't know. The I was like I think I was like browsing Instagram or something, but they have what was I gonna say? They've been selling these like total dripped out Roland shirts, but with like Japanese text on them. I'm like, oh, bro, of course they like immediately sold out because they're peak fashion.
I can't even listen. I'm looking up fucking Korgs. Shit.
Chords?
Korg.
What are you trying to practice on? Korg. Oh yeah, see, Korg is owned by Disney. Disney Multimedia Group. Just some other like
corporation stuff. In 1989, Korg approved the design team. Yamaha Corporation also been a major partner of Korg. Yamaha Yamaha owns Korg. I don't know.
It's all a bunch of incestuous business. Yeah, I don't know. You don't even need it.
Anyway, you're welcome to come down whenever you want. I mean, it's not like...
I want to. I did have a... Yeah, oh, true, yeah. I get well, whenever you find one, let me know, and then we can do Dune and the Funky Bunch. Dune and the...
the Dunettes.
The Dune... yeah, I'll be a Dunette.
I mean, Reido and the Torpedoes would be a good band name.
Yeah. The Torpedoes. Just
that has to be a punk band, right?
Yeah, man. I'm sure there's something like that. I don't know how this band names are, but yeah, that's something that's like you could just call yourself whatever. I feel like it.
Yeah.
There's so many band names that it's like I don't know. I work with some people that are constantly like trying to reinvent their like music career, and then it's like hearing people constantly talk about like, oh yeah, our band name should be this, our band name should be like, oh, just like
I don't know.
Who cares at this point?
No. Coming with a band name is everything. Would you click on a video by Godspeed You Black Emperor if it was called like the Emperors or something, or the Blacks?
You've got to.
I'm not saying anything about the music, but like,
might be like
a good band name. It helps. Like it's marketing. It's good marketing. You know, it has to be cool.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I just get it's also tiresome to think about. But
just think about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're good band names, and they're classic band names. What are bands even called? Imagine Dragons. What's another band?
Imagine Dragon D's nuts.
Do people don't even have bands anymore? BTS, is that a band? That's not a band.
BTS is a K-pop band, I think.
It's not a band.
K-pop group.
It's a group, yeah.
My band by these chicks.
D12.
These chicks don't even know
That's
the
a good
name
band.
of my band. Yeah, my favorite band, D12. What's up, baby? My name's Slim Shady. I'm the lead singer of D12.
Baby.
Yeah.
Baby. Oh my fucking god! It's Eminem.
Becky, my fucking god!
What's the last band that came out? Not Nirvana. Not Imagine. What's the one? What's the
Look
last
at This
band.
Photograph?
What's that one?
Oh, Nickelback.
Nickelback. That's his last. That's the last band.
Yeah, everything else is just like a group or some permutation of
Maroon 5. That's a band.
Is that or how? how many people are in Maroon 5?
More than 5. Well, it's not more. 5. It's not 5.
It's more. It's like more than 5, but they're just slurring their words.
More than 5.
See, yeah, if that's like the premise, Maroon 5 is like just a bunch of crippling alcoholics like trying to play their instruments, and they're constantly that. I'd go see that show.
It's not over tonight. Let's get me much. I fucking love Maroon 5. I also love Imagine Dragons. The Enemy song, literally on my Spotify. I listen to it every day. It's hilarious.
The misery. Arcane fans.
Yeah,
Arcane
I don't
fans
even like Arcane. I just like the song.
No, Arcane's terrible, but it's it's funny how much of a brainworm that song is. Just like totally stuck in.
I was about to start singing it, and I said, "It's waking up." Wrong song, but you know.
Can't fight the friction.
Imagine Dragons. Wow.
They really have a despite being kind of like a very commercial band. I think they've got they've got a good breadth of tone.
No, all the songs sound the fucking same. What are you talking about?
No, yeah, you're right. They do, but they do have a couple songs that are like
they have good songs.
I won't pretend like
I
can't pretend like I've actually listened to like 5% of their discography. Like I don't know what.
Like I can name like 5 to 10 Imagine Dragons songs, but like they have albums. Like like I don't know what the fuck's on those.
There's a lot of musicians that just end up sounding like in my mind they're all just Imagine Dragons to me, but I just because I don't remember their like it was like a Windows 7 commercial like in maybe like 2010 or something like that. And it's like I can't remember for the life of me what this there's like what is that song? I don't know. It just kind of sounds like there are a lot of people that sound like
Imagine if I heard a song on like a commercial like on the radio, like who the fuck watches commercials or listens to the radio? Besides the point. If I heard one of those, like if I heard like a band, like a rock song, quote unquote rock song, like I would assume it was Imagine Dragons. If not Imagine Dragons, this is like just like a one-off like random.
Yeah. Contemporary rock radio is awful. Rock has taken a huge nosedive. Like the stuff people listen to, like you tune into the rock station and it's like it's either people calling Red Hot Chili Peppers part of the classics or it's like Five Finger Death Punch, Theory of a Dead Man, Disturbed. It's like all this like awful
Disturbed
stuff.
Still kicking around?
They still play their stuff on there. I don't know if they still come out with music.
Ooh,
Disturbed? Yeah, that Disturbed. That's they had a cover of the
Johnny Cash song.
Is that a Johnny Cash? Not Hurt, but the
Sound of Silence?
That's a Nine Inch Nails song. Hurt is a Nine Inch Nails song covered by Johnny Cash.
Sound of Silence?
Yeah, Sound of Silence. Yeah, and that one they would play that on the radio like twice an hour every day for a long time. I just remember because I used to only be able to listen to I used to have a job where I could only listen to the radio. So that was like I'd hear that stuff all the time, and sometimes like I don't know, some awful songs, like I don't know, some Theory of a Dead Man song would come on and I would run across the room to turn the radio off so I didn't have to listen to it again. Yeah, I don't know. It's really grating these days. I'm glad I'm not like forced to. I have like a car with Bluetooth or something that I can plug my phone into. I used to only have a CD player or a / radio, and then I know. So,
that's funny. I about like a month ago, I don't know why, I was fucking with the radio in my car just because I was doing a lot of driving. I was like, I should put up these because I did it when I first got the car. I like set up, which radio channels I might want to listen to. Never did, but and I was going through the radios, doing all the, found some local college stations, some weird jazz stations. Like, okay, this is pretty cool. But like the pop stations, it was like TikTok songs from like a year ago. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so weird. Hearing like a Jack Harlow, like the levitating, like it's levitating, and I was like, what the fuck is this? People still listen to this?
I just got these brainworms out of my head, and I got these earworms out of my head.
Yeah, it just it didn't really.
Now I have to remember them all over again.
It's just like
Balenciaga. What are all the? It's interesting.
Only TikTok person I know is like, well, this isn't a TikTok person. Jack Harlow. He's not like a TikTok person, but I guess he's a person that exists.
I guess he's human. I mean, he uses TikTok.
Well, he's not like Olivia Rodrigo, who's like a TikTok person, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't really know TikTok people.
I'm just spitballing.
I think that's a name. That's probably.
She did the well, good for you. You're happy and healthy. Not me. If you want to dance, that one.
Maybe
you don't hear that one. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's an old song, yeah. She got in a big lawsuit with the Paramore, I guess. Misery Business.
Paramore?
I don't know. Old news.
I never listened to Paramore either, but
I remember the days when I was a kid and you turn on the radio and hear Ignition remix by R. Kelly. Those were the good days.
I only know so much R. Kelly.
I only know his filmography.
Yeah. I mean, Trapped in the Closet is a film endeavor as much as it is a music endeavor.
Sure. Yeah.
But it is weird to like see like when you hear kids like singing like TikTok music, like this is like infected even the.
Well, TikTok is for children.
Yeah.
So it's not that way.
That's like it's it's getting the people with like the shortest attention spans, and your kids are in optimum market, I think. But just like I hear are some of the people I work with, their parents, and they'll complain to me like, oh my god, my kid is like singing this song. I was like, there's no way they should know this is. But I'm like, yeah, well they don't have TikTok, but all the kids at school are singing those songs. So
yeah, it's I kind of been wondering, like, if I was like born 10 years ago and I was like a kid, like a 10-year-old or 12-year-old now, like, would I be a brain addled, like, because the kids today are fucked, like super, like, I at the risk of sounding like an old person, like, but I think it's not like, oh, TV is gonna rot your brain, which I mean I guess it kind of does, but like, it's
the same thing about radio.
It's completely different with TikTok. I think it's completely different with because the 24 access, whatever you want. At least with TV, you had to wait for something that you wanted to watch. Like, and
it wasn't always like it wasn't at your demand.
Yeah. I luckily got I grew up just at the tail end of on-demand services where anime streaming was just shitty enough when I was growing up in my formative years that I could not rely on it comfortably.
Yeah, I do remember trying to like there was Netflix on the Wii, and back then like Netflix this was like before, it's because like a lot of people had Netflix, but my parents had a Netflix subscription when Netflix was still just DVDs and stuff like that. So they would, for a long time, they'd get all the Netflix stuff in the mail, and they'd still use that well into its like subscription service era. But I remember trying to use Netflix then, and they didn't. This is like before they had like a lot of big name like movies and shows. They had like a lot of like really bad stuff. This is like before Netflix exclusives.
Yeah.
For a while, I think like they had just like really cheesy movies that like I can't even find now. I'm like, does this even exist? Just like, I don't know, just like I just have the weirdest experience of like having, I don't know, watched some weird things on Netflix, because you wouldn't think it'd get too weird, but like it was a lot of foreign stuff too. They I guess whatever they could get their hands on, but
I mean,
what was the first like Netflix exclusive? Was that some Beasts of No Nation? Was that the first one?
I don't even know what that is.
That's Idris Elba. He's like an African warlord.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen
I saved your life. I saved your life. I saved your life. No, long before Black Panther's time. Honestly, I think that might be the antithesis to Black Panther, saying, maybe we wasn't kings, but we will be conquerors.
It's a beautiful thought. I mean, I was old. I mean, I was old enough to remember like getting excited to go to Blockbuster.
Yes, yeah.
We're gonna see all these movies at the only a 20-minute drive away.
I do have fond memories of. I just wanted to go in there to look around sometime. I mean, you know, I loved. I mean, I do love like, you know, I'd get like a Pokemon movie or something. Go home, I'd be really excited. Or you know, they had video games too, of course. So that was like a big thing as a kid.
Surprising element, like you didn't know what you're gonna get, like because they didn't have everything all the time.
I was going through Netflix, or I think it was Netflix. Yeah, Netflix with somebody recently, and one of the featured things on Netflix is a new Netflix exclusive. I think it's a series about Blockbuster. I'm like, oh no, you can't just like dance on the grave of Blockbuster like this. This is cruel.
Yeah, they didn't deserve it. They were good. They did their job. They performed dutifully. This is like a weird generation thing. Where like we and you were technically Gen Z, but like so is my little brother who's 2 years younger than me, and like I think that 2 year span is like a really big. It's a bigger gap than it seems.
Yeah, 2 years has made all the difference. Like I'm quite separate from the rest of my siblings in terms of like experience, but I do remember, like, I think it was Choco asked me, like, maybe it was earlier this week. He said, you know, when he asked me if I thought that if I was born like a couple years later, if I would be as based, or I can't remember how he phrased it. But I said, yeah, absolutely no, and absolutely not. I would be screwed. I'd be brain dead. I mean, it takes a lot of specific conditions to create a person anyway, but like.
Because I think it's just because we were at the tail end of something that the other people like missed. That like it's just like you just missed it. Because like I still like going to the mall. Like I'm like, ooh,
I was just at the mall today.
And then my little brother was like, you can just buy it online. I'm like, it's not. You just go to look at. You just go there to walk and look at. You don't even have to buy anything to go to the mall. You just like go there and look at stuff. That's what's fun about it.
I think having something in your hands is like always much more satisfying anyway. I think maybe they just don't realize it yet. You know, maybe it's like that's something that's like a new learning curve for Zoomers, is trying to figure out like, oh yeah, maybe some things are better done in person. I mean, you know, shopping online is really convenient.
It is, like, I'm not saying like, oh, you're missing out like by shopping online and getting exactly what you need at a lower price. Like it's just like a thing to do, you know. You just go to the mall, you hang out, like you just do stuff. You go to the food court, you maybe see a movie, like look at the clothes, you just do it. Like I don't even like buying clothes. I just want to go walk around and look at stuff, get fucking.
Yeah, it's like a space that, you know, a lot of people go. It's just kind of like an agreed upon space for people to go and hang out. I was kind of thinking about this today while I was at the mall, about how I was walking past a bunch of stalls and thinking like these little kiosks in the mall, you know, all the cheesy ones. They sell like toys or like the awful T-shirts.
Yeah,
that
illegal
say,
Dragon
like,
Ball Z.
Drugging balls. It's like Goku smoking weed, or it's like the pimp SpongeBob. Or I think I saw one today that was like backwoods, but it was Bart Simpson rolling a backwoods blunt on the.
Let's go.
And I was thinking today. I made this remark. I was like, there's, you know, a lot of stores. What is commonly a store in the mall has kind of shifted slowly over time, or like, you know, mall things come and go through malls. Like some stores don't really exist anymore. Some you know, some hold on, some persist, but you know, malls don't exactly look the same. But this mall kiosk technology has not advanced at all in the past like 20 years. It's the same shit. Still, like some guy selling roasted almonds, some guy selling cheesy ass T-shirts and cheap cell phones. Just all this stuff that nobody goes to the mall for these kiosks.
But you like seeing them.
They're there to trap you while you're there. It's like. it's like a class of citizen, you know, the guy who works the mall kiosk.
Yeah, he's a bored teenager, like foreign fan.
Yeah, some weird Middle Eastern
Yeah,
guy in like in nice drip,
yeah.
hip clothes.
Hey, you want to buy a Caesar? You want to buy a watch? Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, Rolex. Gotta get your Rolex here.
Yeah, but I don't know. If they went there, I'd miss them.
True, it would feel because like you know malls are not as packed as they used to be, and it would be they'd be even more empty. You know how you have this big space in the middle of the walkway in the mall that just wouldn't be occupied
Yeah,
anymore.
where
That's
would you
like
put
they're
that? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put another photo booth there, but like it's not the same.
no, of course
Or a
not.
crane game or a fucking vending machine. It's like you know, it's funny. I went to the mall. I went to a mall recently, and well, I went to a movie theater recently, which I guess I should say, because where it's usually connected to the mall, it was a wall. And I was like, oh, there's a wall here now. And it's like, yeah, you can't go to the mall from here. The mall's closed. It's just the movie theater that was connected to once was a mall. It's like, okay, that's kind of
so they're just like not like a partnered business anymore. So
I mean,
like...
it was kind of on the downhill for a while. Like, it used to be like a regular mall, and then it was like a couple stores and a food, like a few restaurants, and then it was like a few restaurants and a store. And I was like, okay, well,
yeah,
I'm just a movie theater now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's kind of depressing to watch stuff kind of come and go like that, but you feel malls, you feel the passage of time, you know, very, very slowly, but it's there. It's tangible. You know, you can.
Yeah. It's just a weird. Yeah, I don't know. I felt weird because like from ages like 15 to maybe like 20, I got my haircuts there, and like I could like talk to the people there. Like I didn't talk down on a big talker, but like they knew my name. Like they knew me. Like it was at one point where I went there with my brother because it was just me and him. He's like, "Oh, where's your dad?" I'm like, "I just drove here." Oh, you're like 16 now. Like I had grown up going to that. So like they knew that it was weird that I like, and they're like one time I left to go to college. I came back and I was like, they're like, "Oh, you haven't seen you in a while." I was like, "Yeah, I was at college." Like like I went there for a long time, and it's like, oh, it doesn't exist anymore. So I hadn't been there for years because I just moved away, but like I was like, weird feelings.
Yeah, as much as like there's not a lot that I like. I don't. I was never really a huge mall guy, but there is something like about like the waning amount of social space for people. Now just like things to go and do and hang out. But I always remember like, I knew people that would like work at the mall, and I'd go and I'd see them. And while I was doing that, they had like there was like a comic store that held Magic tournaments in the back, and I'd just go. You're there when you do that. You're there for like hours, so you just go hang out. And when you're on break, you walk around like I don't know. Yeah. It's just kind of like a cool space, I guess. Depends on the mall.
Oh yeah, that's also true. I also before there was a comic store. There was an arcade there, and we used to go there every weekend and play fucking Marvel's Capcom 2 and Soul Calibur 3, I think.
Yo, Soul Calibur.
And then eventually that closed down and became a comic book store, and that's when I first started getting into comic books. American comic books. I was in a manga, but like that's where I bought my first comic books. It was like, and then now it doesn't exist anymore. It's like, okay, I guess I'll read comics online or something. I guess I'll just do everything else online too. I don't know. It's weird, and I don't think kids today like care because they don't like. It's like we're going back to the nuclear bomb thing. It's like they don't have anything to miss.
Yeah, I feel like there's like some sort of like it's almost perceptible by the like you see like you can kind of tell that some of them feel like they're missing something, but they don't know what. And malls are like a small part of that equation.
Yeah, that reminds me that you have a good point. Those videos of empty malls with reverb music.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a Zoomer thing.
There's like a nostalgia wave for it, like when they.
It's like
that kind of
music that was like that would be like you would not really hear in a mall because it's like too old, but also like because it's like 80s music and like an abandoned mall, which like doesn't really work because it would be like probably early 2000s music. You think, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they say like 80s hits, obviously, but like
malls were around in the 80s,
but not like abandoned. But that was a big mall. They were
no abandoned malls. I think people just do that like kind of like remixed 80s music is kind of like the part of like the doomer nostalgia edits and stuff. You know, like it just kind of like it's like a cue. It's like a musical cue for people to start feeling something. So
because I think like. The thing about the 80s is that it's still considered like old people music, but it's like, even though like old people now, like old people, well, yes, it is old people, like, because people live longer. It's like your grandparent, like my mom's, your grandparents, I guess, because my mom's like 50s, over 50s. So it's like, grandparents listen to 80s music because that's when they grew up with. So like 80s is like old people music. And my mom would probably think old people music is like the 60s. And one day it's going to be, remember that old fucking band 100 Gex?
Fucking Kajoro's sitting in his chair, his grandchildren are on his feet, like, back in my day we used to listen to 100 Gex. Yeah. Back in my day
we only had 100 Gex.
Shut up, Grandpa. We're listening to 1 billion Gex. Back in my day, we used to get one gecko, and we'd be like, it was a start.
Yeah. Getting old. I mean, a lot of people don't know. They think of the internet as Twitter, and YouTube, and that's it. Maybe Instagram.
Which are like modern Twitter and YouTube are, or I mean, I don't know about saying modern to identify, but just like like current Twitter and YouTube are like the least cool versions of those things that they.
But they're more convenient.
I
brought this up in the Sean interview. Where I was like, Sean, do you remember watching videos that like were on before YouTube, like watching internet videos before YouTube? Like I remember, because I think the context was I saw Numa, like not on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember like watching Google Video and like other like just random websites where we just watch a video and be like, oh, that's cool, it's a video. And it's like, but like then once YouTube came out, it was like, I guess they're all probably on YouTube.
Yeah, and there used to be a lot of like other sites just for like videos that you wouldn't, or like YouTube wasn't like, there weren't like, I think people kind of take for granted like how what kind of stage YouTube is now, like what kind of like stuff like you can just post any kind of video on YouTube. I suppose you always kind of could, but like
no, you can't now because of copyright stuff, which is and they used to only be less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it would be it would just be like you were there was certain stuff that you wouldn't end up on YouTube, and like a lot of other sites would kind of take up that portion of YouTube, or like there'd be like you as a young kid you're like, well, I want to see some gore. I'm gonna go to like what's Cyanide Shock or like whatever that horrible like website was.
There's a bunch of them.
There are a bunch of them, but yeah, it's like like websites just for watching videos on like specific things.
There used to be a subreddit for gore, watch people die.
Is that subreddit gone?
No, it's gone now. But
that's a good one.
Used to exist. It's like that's just the sign of the times. You can't watch people die on the internet anymore, which is probably a good thing. I don't know. Interesting. Bringing it back to Dan Carlin. Back in the day, people used to like have giant battles, and people would be down on the floor, and they'd like have tours, like everyone come on and go see the giant battle while all these people died, and you just walk around and see people dead. And it was like, and like public hangings and stuff. I saw another one. I watched another one about that, like public executions.
What do you think that does to a person's psyche?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, public hangings used to be like a regular thing that people like hung out at. I was like, yeah,
you'd probably think it was normal.
Back in the day, if you brought a person back from the French Revolution, would they be that different from any of us? It's just a culture. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I guess it's only a modern thing that we're like, I don't want to see people die. But like any time before, like a couple hundred years ago, it was like, yeah, let's go watch people die. It's funny. Fuck them.
Yeah. No, you can't just. No. Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. People, I thought that like people would just get like growing up. I thought people would continue to get more and more desensitized, but it's kind of the opposite that's happened. Like everybody has become more sensitive
because of the lack of we don't like have a lot of human contact as much as we used to.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird.
Different priorities. You don't have to worry about eating or staying warm. You just like wait
not yet. Not yet. In my America, they will worry about eating. I'll make sure of it.
Yeah, we need to save it. We need to save all those bugs. Hashtag save the bugs.
What could you do to make bugs less appetizing? Like, yeah,
I think bugs are the least appetizing things on the planet.
Yeah, they're already pretty gross, but there are a lot of people lining up to eat bugs.
There's people will do anything. That's not a fair.
Should we cook? Should bugs be cooked in the animal fat? So all the
that'd make them more delicious. So no.
Yeah, I mean it would, but the people trying to eat the bugs to protect the animals in the first place, you know, where I'm sure they'd have some weird thoughts about that.
Yeah, that's something I never understood. Like, obviously I'm against factory farming or whatever, and all that bad stuff. But I'm not a vegetarian. The thing about vegetarianism is that like all life on Earth is equal, right? But I can't think of a good reason to exclude plants from that.
Yeah, I've had this thought too. It's like, well, I think it's just that like they're, you know, you can see when animals like feel a certain way, I guess.
But
like
plants definitely don't want to die.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just like you don't understand it in like the same, like plants don't have like a brain.
But they have nervous system and like they can you can tell when a plant is like afraid and like doesn't want to die, like it's because of like different
they react to stimuli. So
it's like,
yeah, I mean it's like I guess that's where most people draw the line, or like when they're talking, well I guess when like talking about not hurting animals, but I mean yeah, like there are people who are totally fine with eating like mussels and clams and oysters. Fish. Fish.
You're like, no, arbitrary.
Even fish feel pain. I'm like, well, okay. Listen, you're getting into the weeds now. You're getting into the kelp now.
Yeah. Seaweed. Yeah. So I just never thought of like I just couldn't come up with like a good rational argument to draw the line at animals and not plants.
I don't think there is a good like rational argument for any. I think that's it's mostly just based on how it makes people feel. Yeah. Like people have a hard time coming to terms with like how they treat other beings. Like it's like, oh no, like they've got to like atone for participating in like the farming of animals. It's like, well man, this is like, you know, how we've done it. You know, we've kind of it's not just that like that we eat animals to survive. There's like a culture around it, you know. It's like you can't. It's hard to like tell people to stop without like taking something away from other people, you know. It's like not just
it's literally going on since like humans have existed. It's like a sheep herder. I mean, like there's always been a guy who like gets a bunch of animals in one place so other people can eat them.
I think even
we just have more people.
yeah. I mean, and it's like another thing, like we don't even just like raise animals to eat. Like dogs are just like a total product of like humans raising wild, you know, like wolves and shit. And that's like I feel like that's what's weird about like eating dogs is that they weren't necessarily like cows were bred to be like to be used for food.
So it's okay to eat them. Yeah. That's what they live for. They live to die for us.
Hold on. Oh. Cut this out, dude.
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
It's a video of this. Oh. That's really cute.
I love little British kids.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back.
You turned into Cetal.
Yeah, I know. I got the oh, babe, look, chickens.
Would you react the same way if I showed you a video of chickens?
Probably. I mean, the video is really cute. So.
Okay.
You know.
back to the history and intellectual thoughts.
Yes.
Stop being so distracted.
Okay, yeah, I got more important matters like world history on our hands.
Exactly. I
No time for leaving eggs around the house.
I do love world history. I feel like the more I learn about things, the worse I feel. Cue that song, the less I know, the better. Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel. Because the more you learn about stuff, the more you learn how fucked everything is.
Yeah.
I guess ignorance is bliss has been a long-standing saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's more stuff like that I learn. It's like, well, why, like, or just like the less hard opinions I have about
Anything.
like, yeah, about anything, like, world politics or whatever. It's like, why do I care? Like, this seems
anything
so, like,
beyond like your local elections or like maybe state elections, but it's like you have no control over it.
Yeah.
Did you see
it's just
like
everything seems so minute in comparison, like.
Well, it's like it isn't like nothing you do in your singular life. You could shoot up a school, and
I could shoot up a school, Mr. FBI, if you're listening.
You should shoot up a school. End of sentence.
Supply me with free firearms.
No, but like even like the Vegas shooter or whatever, the biggest mass shooting in American history. I don't know his name. I don't know what the fuck. Like, what did he accomplish?
The Las Vegas one.
Yeah, like what did he accomplish?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean. There were people leaving from what concert were they leaving? Because I think it was like a
Taylor Swift or something.
Oh yeah, see, there's nothing important lost.
It's like nothing. It's like nothing happened. Like people died, and it's obviously it's a terrible tragedy. But like at the end of the day, like nothing. It's like it sucks, but like I don't know, like nothing matters.
I think there were 59 people died. But it's like that one's a weird one too. They never released the or like he didn't have a manifesto, or they never released one, so they don't know why like he did it. But yeah, it's like what's the whole, yeah, like how could you even think that like doing a shooting like that could like
accomplish anything?
Yeah, if anything, it's just gonna make more people who are going to like freak out about that kind of like it seems like it causes more harm among the people who didn't get shot, not counting like family members of people who actually like lose loved ones, but like just like societally like causes a lot of harm too. It's I guess you never really know what the intended effect is.
But like even if every month a school shooting happened with an assault rifle, like there would still be like nothing would actually change until like some big wigs in Washington were like, okay, we'll make a ban or something. It's like
yeah, I mean that's the solution they always have. It's like, well, I guess we just ban it, right? And I'm like, well,
even did anything like
I guess I ban all guns. I guess I'm on to bombs next. Like, just going.
Well, my point was more like, the actions of individual people have like for the majority of people on the planet have like nothing to do with anything. Like
yeah,
it's like just like some people some important people just have to make the decisions.
Yeah, you got to do something to kind of make people think that you're keeping busy. And at the end of the day, I still have less money than I did yesterday, so they're not working on fixing that problem.
Yeah, it's like, which
would be nice.
That's kind of at the end of the day, like I don't really like feel bad about people who like don't give a shit about politics sometimes, because like I guess if it doesn't affect you, it's like who the fuck really cares? Like I don't care about shit that doesn't affect me. Like I'm sure there's terrible tragedies and social injustice happening all around the world, but like it doesn't, like I feel bad, like I don't want them to happen. It's like what am I gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know. It's that thing you just kind of like throw your arms up, like, well, I just want to grill, man. I just want to make YouTube videos. I just want to.
I don't want to do that.
No, that's. I don't know. You've been putting some out, haven't you? You've had some here and there.
Nah, not really. Not.
I got some like notifications on my phone for some Dune Coon videos. Like it was like a month ago or something.
Yeah, like every couple of months I make a video. That's about probably for the course. That's for the Dune Coon interview though.
Yeah. The Dune Coon interview. Don't worry. We'll like take turns conducting parts of the Dune Coon interview.
Yeah, the people versus Dune Coon.
It's a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't know. Bringing it back to Dan Carlin again, just like the like think I messaged you at the time when I heard this in the King of Kings. So like people 3,000 years ago from now, like seeing ancient like ruins of civilizations that are thousands of years old from them, and just like who had like ancient technologies that had better stuff than them. It's like will that happen again in the future? Or like
yeah. I mean, it's hard to figure out what it'd be like. People looking at like our scraps, right? Like,
like we can imagine, like ancient Romans being like, "It's gonna be like this forever." Like why?
Yeah, what could possibly happen to tear this all down?
We're like the hugest empire in the world. We're like all the coolest guys. Like, what could happen? And then like 1,000 years later, like they're all gone. It's like, who knows? And America's only been around a couple hundred years.
Yeah, I mean, we're not beating any records so far. I think.
Well, they're the most wars.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe there are people we don't even know about that have beat us at that. But
that's another thing.
I guess biggest wars. You could say that. But
the ratio of wars to time existing as a nation.
America's really good at ratios. We get really good at ratioing those other countries. Like. Sorry, China, ratioed.
Yeah. What about aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
I kind of like. I mean, like I like sometimes I like those like creepypastas or just like supernatural story. Like you get that kind of tingle up your spine. But when people start talking, like you get that one guy like, oh man, they released like the UFO video, because I used to kind of like some of that stuff, or like the government's admitting it at this point. It's like I kind of like I just don't care at this point. It's like, well,
whatever the government releases, like, is obviously not true, and I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like now videos of aliens, it's obviously not a real.
It's
alien.
like there was all this evidence for aliens. The government's covering it up. Don't trust them. And it's like, oh, the government's posting about the aliens. Oh, that's like now you trust the government. Now you believe in them. No, it's a bad sign. I just no, yeah, I'm kind of like, well, suppose they do show up. Suppose a bunch of grays, big-headed, black-eyed grays show up to our planet. What do I like? I feel like this. I don't know if this really means anything good for me. I probably still have to pay rent.
Yeah, no matter
for
what.
the foreseeable future. If aliens can stop me from, if they can start finding a solution to me paying rent, I think I'll be really excited.
If an alien landed near your house, Vito, and you were the first encounter, would you give him fucking chocolate bars and put him in a bicycle basket and ride to the moon? Put him in the sky. Would you touch his fucking glowing finger?
If he was friendly, I think maybe if we could develop a little relationship there. I don't know. I feel like me being the first one to come in contact with an alien is bad news if the government find, like, you know, I don't want to. Would
you allow him to phone home?
Yeah, I'd let him borrow my phone.
What if he just ate it? What if he just took it in his mouth? What would you do?
I'd be fucking pissed, man.
Would you bash his fucking head in with a hammer?
I'd be shaking. I'd probably grab his. Stop this! I'd induce vomiting. Like, there's got to be some way. I mean, it's in that it's got to be inside him somehow, right? When there's a will, there's a way. I guess it's at that point that I turn him over to the government, because if they're gonna dissect him, I think that increases my chances of getting my phone back. maybe it's not super high, but it's more than non-zero chance of getting it back. Either that, or they just look through my phone or try to understand what was so tasty about it. Probably on my oily hands getting all over it, or I don't know. I've got a leather case in my phone. It's probably leather might taste tasty to an alien. Who knows? I like that little psychic pebbles hypothetical there.
Thank you. I mean, I was just describing E.T.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, E.T. would always like the scene at the end of E.T. when like in the tent, like the quarantine tent. That always like stressed me out as a kid. But my grandmother gave me this like plush E.T. Doll thing. Because she thought I liked E.T. and it's like E.T. It's all like it's soft, but it's like brown and wrinkly, and it freaked the hell out of my sister. So I loved like chasing my sister around the house with that thing. It was great. It's like no, fucking screaming bloody murder. So in some ways, E.T. has brought me immense pleasure. But
yeah. I completely. I was just thinking about that dumb fucking hypothetical. I didn't really pay attention to your answer. But yeah. I mean that was only a point question. The point was aliens. Do you think there's life out there among the stars?
Oh well, probably. There's something somewhere. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it all doesn't line up at the right time. But
I mean, do you want to believe that there's something out there? Like if you.
Because like kind of, in some ways it'd be cool and hopeful. In other ways, it's like very depressing. It's like oh well.
Like say somehow we missed a close enough planet that we could like Mars or something. Like, it's close enough we could get to it. Like don't you think we just fuck it up?
Yeah.
Like we see another planet, it's close enough. It's like oh, on Mars we found a village of people. They're like Native Americans. Like,
oh yeah, that'd be like that kind of situation. See, I think most people approach it from like the perspective of like aliens that are more advanced than us, like them coming to us. But like, yeah, suppose we just found we totally ruin it if it was like some like less developed civilization.
Yeah,
like that's.
It says, oh, they're not human. We're just gonna kill it. We'll just fuck them up. We'll exploit them.
We'll dissect them. Like,
we'll take who we can and then ruin the planet. I was like, yeah, like that's what everyone would do.
Probably
true.
And
people would be happy about it.
Like, oh, cool! Look at all this new medical technology we've developed from studying these alien cadavers. Shame about them.
Yeah, like, my uncle survived his cancer therapy because of the medicine we made out of those alien babies. Are you saying we shouldn't use those alien babies? Do you want my uncle to die? It's like, sometimes things are bad. Even if they have good results. It's like, think about someone else. It's like, I don't know. They're not people. They're just little Chinese people working in sweatshops. Not that they like it. They wouldn't make any money otherwise.
Just put them to work.
That's how they feed their family. Like if we didn't put them in sweatshops, they wouldn't have any money. They'd better they work for pennies than nothing. It's like, okay, that's just how those are humans. I hate it.
Yeah, that's
industrial society and its consequences.
That's the overwhelming existential dread that kind of overtakes. I think everybody in our demographic.
I don't think that. I mean, that's not even true. A lot of people just don't care. Like, I don't
know. I think people are depressed in ways they don't even like realize.
Consciously think they just don't think about it because they don't want to think about it. It's because it sucks.
Like they're depressed, so they like get into politics or something, which makes them more miserable. But instead, they're just angry now. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think at one point people could have affected politics more than they could. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you foresee I can't imagine this would be a violent American Revolution again, right?
No, yeah, you'd have to do something, like.
But what could the government even do that like would make people want to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to really like. they're already kind of doing stuff that I think is pretty bad, and it's like people don't care, so they're doing pretty good crowd control.
We do live in a police state, so that's just a fact. Even if we nuclear bombed Russia right now,
a lot of people want them to.
A lot of people want it, and two, they'd protest in front of the White House with pussy hats, and we go home.
Oh yeah. That's like. What's funny is that it's like a lot of people who generally consider themselves like very like liberal are saying like I know this guy who he just nonstop complained about Trump. He's like, oh yeah, my dad likes Trump, blah blah blah, and he's like, I don't understand why we don't just like nuke Russia. I'm like, excuse what? The last person I expected to hear that from, but yeah, it's
that's been the that's in the forefront of America's mind since 1945.
I mean, yeah. Again, it goes back to this nukes. We've got all these nukes.
So
when are we gonna?
Who are we gonna use? Who are we gonna bomb next?
Yeah.
I mean, specifically about Russia too. It's like, aren't they right there? They're the biggest enemy besides China. Well, maybe it's kind of the same team. But, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they are each other's like biggest trade partners, I think, or
at
least China is to Russia, but. I think China's a lot of people's biggest trade partner.
Yeah,
but
they're also like the biggest in general.
Yeah. U.S. gets a pretty big chunk of the pie, but not quite as big as China.
It's hard to imagine like even that having happening in like another country, like the global. Like obviously, it probably will happen again at some point, but like the global politics stage. I mean, the UK is kind of falling apart. In a recession in prime ministers, but like, can you imagine like another Chinese civil war where it breaks up into like 5 states again?
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be
actually. I think there's some parts of China that are cooler than others, and I think they're a little mitigated by the state right now. So
yeah.
I actually for the longest time I actually really wanted to go to Hong Kong, and after all that Hong Kong stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to Hong Kong anymore.
Yeah, you might not come.
I mean, I do want to go to China just in general, but I'm like, I don't know. Hong Kong might have lost some of its flair.
I've said too many anti-Chinese things on the internet.
Yeah. The government's gonna be going through my Twitter. I'm like, you like too much anime here, bud.
Yeah.
Let's start liking some Chinese cartoons, then we can talk.
Do they still make Chinese cartoons?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's like a thing. I think every
I kind of stopped watching once like got to high school and like.
I think that's Chinese? Like I thought Guy to High School was like
Crunchyroll.
That is like a Japanese production of a Korean manhwa.
Yeah.
So it's like a Korean thing. Like a lot of stuff like that is Korean. No, like the Chinese stuff is like typically very Chinese. Like it's like. I've only seen. I guess I haven't really watched any of it, but I've seen like lots of videos of this stuff where it's like kind of like, it's very Sakuga, like very detailed animation, but it's all about like Chinese like folklore and stuff, or very like. I think there was like a gay one, like like I think was that what Moda Zushi was the.
I am not watching anime. In years.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff is, but some people were into it, I guess. Yeah, I don't keep up with those wacky Chinese cartoons. I'm only the Japanese ones for me.
I read Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, I like. You like it?
Yeah.
I like Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man was pretty good.
It's very very much like Devilman, but I think it's got some unique charm to it.
I see that people like it a lot. I read it in one sitting. So I was like, it's 10 out of 10. It's amazing. Then I talked to Nonibra about it, and I was like, we got like an 8 out of 10. It's like
Nonibra has like a lot of, that's like the.
I mean, Nonibra likes it more than me, but like we just talk about it.
I guess he
and,
does.
Get into like the nitty gritty and like how some stuff doesn't really make sense, and it's very instinct. But like the stuff that doesn't make sense is like doesn't really matter. It's like not really the point. But it's like it's like a really obviously I still recommend it. It's like it's still a great show and like a manga.
Yeah. No I always kind of like get into the weeds and stuff like that, and I never quite we never quite think on the same wavelength. But I think we did kind of get along on the Chainsaw Man thing. I've been reading the new chapters too, which are also pretty good. The currently developing second part.
I mean, I can't keep up with stuff that kind of I'll forget to read it, so I'm just gonna wait till it's done.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't read Hajime no Ippo in years, but I still cite it as one of my favorite. I was caught up at one point, like in high school.
How long is it? I've never actually read.
Thousands. It's over 1,000, I think. But
that's a lot.
It's definitely worth it.
I thought I may be watching it one day, but
watching it's okay. It's good anime. It's pretty fun to watch, but I think you're missing out some stuff if you don't read it.
Maybe, yeah. I guess I'll check it out at some point.
I think it's great because it's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but if it stayed on like Phantom Blood the whole time. Oh,
okay.
And that like it starts out when Hajime Ippo's in high school, and then like I think he's like 30 or something. it's been a while.
Wow, okay.
Like it's been a while. Like he like and it's crazy. And it's like, yeah, it's really good.
I think some things like that are kind of fun. Like where it takes place kind of over a longer period of time. I'm still in the. I've been reading this one thing lately, or I started a while ago, but they're like I've been reading it as they've been re-releasing volumes of it with a new translation, and so I've been waiting for a lot of it to come out. But Rumiko Takahashi's Maison Ikoku, which is really good. It's a really good manga, but it's not super long either. It's kind of fun when it's like, you know, you can fit a lot of stuff in when it takes place over like a longer period of time and a little more like I don't know, little episodic bits, but it's a really good manga. Rumiko Takahashi's a fantastic, mangaka. Urusei Yatsura, Inuyasha, Ranma. It's all good. It's all good stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
People need to read more.
Well, it's like one of those things. So it's like, oh, they're like one of the masters of their craft and like one of the most influential figures in the genre. It's like nobody's watching the new LOM anime.
Oh, yeah, the new Urusei Yatsura. Yeah, that's they apparently announced a movie for it already. So I guess I don't know. I guess it's big enough. I've only watched one episode. I wasn't like huge on it, but it looks cute. I guess it's cute.
It's kind of like that.
That's probably what matters.
Sailor Moon R. Remember that came out?
The new Sailor Moon R.
Sailor Moon remake.
Not R. The remake.
Crystal,
yeah, because R is
Crystal,
yeah. I was like R is actually like good.
Yeah.
R S and Super S. I believe that's what the first like 4 seasons. I'd say the seasons 2 and 3 are really good, but yeah, I was completely uninterested in Sailor Moon Crystal. I was like, what? No.
I just like
there are a lot of like adult fake like adults or like fake like nerdy YouTube quote unquote nerdy YouTube people talking about watching Sailor Moon. Oh yeah, I was watching Sailor Moon again. I was watching Sailor Moon Crystal. I'm like, you're not, no, get out of here.
The same. Yeah, it's like
it's not the same thing.
It is weird. Like, can you imagine if they remade like Seinfeld? It's like we're bringing it back, new cast, new everybody. It was like this guy is Jerry's quote unquote Jerry Seinfeld, and it was like some 20-year-old dude.
It's yeah. Some like you got like some tiny like, or yeah, I don't know, like you get some weird guy to play George. It's like Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, just totally botch it.
And the Jim from The Office plays second Seinfeld.
Oh no! You've got it. You've got your cast here. Yeah, it's really just a recasting from The Office. Like you've just.
Yeah. Well. No, I think it's the only one that works. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just.
Oh, what if Andy Samberg was Seinfeld? That'd be good.
I guess the is Jerry Seinfeld Jewish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, I guess that works out. Yeah, you know, you can never be too. You know, sometimes you think that, and you're like, what? He's not Jewish.
You'd have to get a black guy to play Kramer, though. You have to add more minorities to Seinfeld because literally every person on that show is a white person.
I have been watching some Seinfeld recently. It's a good.
They make George gay.
True. Oh yeah, yeah. And so he's always trying to get Jerry to hook him up with his friends. He's like, oh, who's this guy, Jerry?
No. Maybe would it be George? Or would it be Elaine? Would they make Elaine a lesbian?
Yeah. That might. Well, yeah. That way you don't have to. I don't know. You miss out on the bisexual maybe, so you could still have like the weird
tension between
sexual tension, friend romance.
You know what's fucked up? In one episode of Seinfeld, like Jerry, it's called like The Deal or something. It's like in the early season. I think it's season 3, where Jerry and Elaine are like they sleep together, and they're like, these are the rules for our sleeping together, relationship. And then at the end of the episode, they're like, you know what, these rules are dumb. Let's just date. And then at the end, they start dating. And then the next episode, there's no other mention of that happening in any other episode of the show. Like the episode ends with them dating, and it's like okay, and they move on. And it doesn't matter anything.
I kind of appreciate Seinfeld in a way for that, like, or just like yeah, we're not gonna do this whole like, just kind of move on from it.
It happens in Universe B of this alternate universe episode. It's so fucked up. I wrote an essay about Elaine's relationship with Jerry. Sometimes I write essays and I just think, what am I gonna do with this? Like, am I gonna make a YouTube video about this? No.
I'm surprised you have that much to say. Like,
I feel very strongly about it because I was watching. I like Seinfeld a lot, and there's like, it is kind of fucked up. Elaine and Jerry's relationship. Because Elaine is such a cuck, and I don't like it.
Yeah. She seemed, almost kind of like, almost kind of a malicious presence in some way. Just watched. No. Jerry's great. Jerry's
definitely a malicious presence.
Yeah. They're all kind of bad, and so I watched the episode where they have to go to like a dinner party and they get stuck at like the cake shop.
Oh yeah.
And like Elaine throws this whole fit over like, it's like, no, we gotta return the cake. He's like, just take the hair off. And
the black and white cookie.
Yeah, he's eating the cookie and he raises his hand at the other guy, the black guy who's eating the black and white cookie. Yeah, but it's like that. It's like I could not deal with that. No, there's no. What a great episode though. Kramer and George stuck at the liquor store. They get double parked by Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
British Saddam Hussein.
Seinfeld is such a brilliant thing that like, I don't think anybody's ever captured. Seinfeld's like Dragon Ball Z, and they're like the things about it that make it work. People took. Like people were like, oh, Dragon Ball Z has like tournaments, it has like power scaling, like super moves, like that's what makes it good. It's like no, it's like, and like people like Seinfeld, it's like, oh, it's just like nothing happens, and it's like, like no emotional moments. So it's like that's what makes it good. It's like no. It's like it's not really about that. The kind of the meme.
Some other things got the things like, that Toriyama did with Dragon Ball.
It's like, it's very like, or like we talked about this before, like Fooly Cooly. Like the thing that makes Fooly Cooly good is not like that it has like wacky animation or that like people like have like manga sections or like it's not like that kind of stuff. It's like the people who made it had like a very specific combination of like talents and like it's very much about the people who made it more so than like
they've got an understanding that goes beyond like just like copying other stuff. Or you can't just like try to take notes down and then do exactly what they do. It's a very it's a very specific kind of thing.
That's why I don't like when people compare Seinfeld to like Always Sunny or something. It's like
even to something like Frasier or what's the one at the bar?
Cheers.
It's like related to Frasier. Cheers, yeah.
I think there was I think most people do it. Like that's like a contemporary thing. But like Always Sunny is like, oh, they're like 4 assholes. Like in Seinfeld, it's like that's not the point of Seinfeld. Wasn't really that they were assholes. Like they were like none of them were like evil people.
Yeah,
it was more like a social commentary kind of thing, and not like wacky.
Yeah,
like
It's Always Sunny has like some commentary, but it's more like
it's different. It's like more.
Yeah, it's
like wacky people doing things.
Yeah, it's a little more crude. Like they never go for the funny thing about Seinfeld was that it's like a lot of really simple stuff, right? It's like stuff that people don't really verbalize a lot, and then like thinking about it a little too hard, or verbalizing it. And it's just like a small part of Seinfeld.
Yeah, but it also has episodes where like they hang out with white supremacists. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Not Always Sunny. Seinfeld. I mean, there's an episode where George impersonates a little white nationalist, and and he's hanging out with Jerry's in the car with him as a Jewish person. It's really funny.
What episode? I don't know that episode.
And it ends with like a mob attacking him, the car, because there's a white nationalist leader in it, and that's just how it ends. It's a really funny show. And Dragon Ball Z, Nanidba in his evil ways sent me a Twitter link of like someone being like, I'll send it to you, but for the viewers at home, it's like it's filled. Hold on, let me post it to you first so you can go along. It's basically talking about like, fucking people who like fucking people feel nothing for people who think they're too smart for meathead shonen, because they'll die without ever experiencing the clarity of realizing that unlocking a new form to beat the bad guy while hype music plays is the fact that apex of all media. And it says nice nuanced character writing, you fucking dipshit, and check this out. And it's a picture of Goku powering up, and I got really mad at No Need Bro. It's like Dragon Ball Z is all nuanced character writing. That's all it is. Of course it has cool power-ups too, but like I am the biggest fucking defender of Dragon Ball Z as like actually good and not just a dumb thing where people will charge. Oh, Dragon Ball Z people they charge up their power attacks with 7 episodes. It's like, you fucking.
I guess that's the like outward facing appearance to a lot of people who like
haven't
aren't
seen
super familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
That's what kids like parrot, and they try to. I'm interested on your thesis here of Dragon Ball's nuanced characters. The
big meme is like Vegeta, right?
Yeah.
But like that's like just one character. I mean, I'm not saying Toriyama is like a brilliant character writer. I'm saying I 100% agree that Toriyama is on accident wrote the greatest manga.
I think Toriyama is like an amazing mangaka. I think he knows what he's doing.
I don't. I think he does it by pure instinct. I think he just like writes a story and it happens to be amazing.
I don't know. He's got. I don't think he's like made bad manga. He's Arale Dr. Slump is pretty good. Worth reading. Dragon Ball is good. He's got some other and you know all the other things.
Yeah, like Neko Majin. Ever Neko Majin?
No, I haven't.
Exactly.
I mean, I haven't really gotten through.
I mean, he has a bunch of manga that aren't Dragon Ball Z or RLA.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
But he's good.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. People, when I was a kid, I used to get mad. People calling Goku a bad dad. It's like Goku fucking died for the Earth. Like, how's that a bad? What makes him a bad dad?
Shit. Well, he might have been a good guy, but he
literally
has
only ever wanted the best for his family and the people around him.
True. I mean, I think that's all. You know, people also are a little swayed by Sean Schemmel's characterization of Goku. A lot of people you might interact with in the English sphere might be watching the English version of.
I mean, Shyamalan's Goku is like even more holier than the Japanese Goku. He's like, I'm the defender of Earth. I am the protector of the people who are weak and innocent. And I mean, it's not really. It's like that's not like a great chance. It's like it is like kind of what he says in Japanese, but he's like. He's more Superman in the dub than he is in the Japanese.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I don't know.
That's when Super came out, people was like, "What the fuck?" All Goku does is like want to talk about how he wants to fight all the time, and like at the expense of everyone around him. It's like
it is weird. I did try reading some of that manga, and it is not well.
Because Super's more faithful than the original English dub.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's been a while since I visited Dragon Ball. I haven't really thought about the characters that much, but
I mean, I do have to emphasize like the nuanced aspect of the character, like very like, because it's definitely not like an intentional like, because there's no like scenes of Dragon Ball Z. Well, there are a few, but like not really, where people like have serious conversations about stuff that isn't fighting. And it's like, but like it's the little things that people pick on, like little crumbs of characterization. It's just like the people pick up on the obvious ones, like Vegeta and Krillin, who were not Krillin, Piccolo, who were like, oh, they were bad guys and now they are good guys. Like that's like the things people pick on because it's like the most obvious. But like the Saiyan race characterized is very interesting. I think a lot of the world building in Dragon Ball Z is like weird and cool.
Yeah, that Toriyama does kind of make really fun worlds, or just like, you know, it's.
But like a lot of it gets ignored by like I guess I don't really talk to a lot of people about anime, but like people don't talk about Blutz waves. You know what Blutz waves are?
Blutz waves.
That's how they turn into giant monkeys.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
moon.
The moon's as Blutz waves. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? It's like, I don't know. It's good, but it's fucking cool. And it makes sense. That's the best thing about Dragon Ball Z, is that it makes sense. And it's long running, and then like time passes is one of the coolest aspects of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball's cool.
It fucking starts when he's 12 and he's like fucking 50 by the end of it.
He's a little baby. He's got a little baby boy wiener hanging out.
Yeah, and a tail.
And a tail.
And the thing about Dragon Ball Z is like more so than any other shonen or that I can think of, is like the people in Dragon Ball Z actually feel like they hang out and like are a family of people, like a good group of friends. Like in Naruto, like I can't imagine like Naruto and Sakura hanging out, like getting a beer. But I can totally imagine like Goku and Vegeta doing it. It's just like, or like Goku and Bulma at least, you know. It's like yeah, I can imagine they hang out. Like they because every fucking Dragon Ball Z movie starts with them having a picnic. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen the Dragon Ball Z movies?
I have. I've seen most of them actually.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They start with them fucking all hanging out and like doing a thing, and then like something.
Yeah, you know
happens.
They live. They have lives. They have families.
It's cool. It's like no other.
That's so cool.
That's pretty good, right? Yeah. And no other. I can't like Hunter x Hunter and like Naruto and every other anime has like they all live in like these super powered fighting worlds, but it's like that there's so much. Even My Hero Academia is like, even though they're like school students, they're like so much of it is about like fighting in the world.
Yeah, I don't think that manga's that great.
Of course not.
No,
I don't know. It's weird to think about that. Like Toriyama focuses so much on the human aspect of the characters, then a lot of it gets taken for granted. Because the parts of Dragon Ball Z that aren't dramatic, big fight scenes are probably the best fights, the best parts of it. Like fucking, oh my god, I should do a scene by scene analysis of Dragon Ball Z, and it would take 1,000 years because it's so good. You know, every frame of painting, I could do that. Every panel of painting, Dragon Ball Z.
Do it. Maybe that's your call.
That's my. I don't know, but like it goes back to my main point. Like, even if I did make it, people would still be fucking idiots about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, they'd engage with you, but only to argue.
No, they'd engage with me and be like, "Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z is, I guess Dragon Ball Z." No, okay, it'd either be like, because I had this problem with Nonidra too, where I'm like, Nonidra, this is why I'm right, and like obviously, like this is good, and he's like, I don't know, I just don't like it, dude.
Yeah, they just kind of shrug.
It's like, oh, you fucking fools. People shrug too much. I was like, I don't know, what's the point?
Yeah, I know. People get limp-wristed and lose their will to.
Once you prove them right, wrong in an intellectual debate, they're like, whatever.
It doesn't matter anyway. All the steps of all these steps of denial.
Yeah, like, and then yeah. So what's even the point of being right about things? That's why I don't make videos anymore. It's like, I tried really hard for years to be like, I'm gonna change how people think about anime and anime reviews. And then it's like nothing happened.
Wah, wah. Well, who knows? Maybe there's something. Maybe there's bold change on the horizon.
I doubt it. The new meta, the new. I don't know. Right now, I think it's still big. Did you see that? Like 10-hour, 14-hour Persona 4 analysis that was floating around. Neva sent it to me, and I was like, I made this tweet that was, I think that was the last tweet I ever made, but I stopped using Twitter. It was like, I feel bad for people who make those super long analysis videos, because the people who would watch that only care about how long it is, and they don't care about what you actually say in the video. Yeah,
it's like something that they put on in the background to listen to. That's like another thing that kind of gets under my skin, is like people who just like, it's like, yeah, I watched all of this show, and the way they watched it was just like background noise. It's like, oh, I can't really talk to you about the show if that's how you consume it, like, or like you're not really.
And they're proud
like,
of like,
you don't like it
because I just want to watch it to like check it off the list of like things that I watched, and it's like,
yeah, there's an idea that some people I know have been talking about recently, is that you know people like the idea that you can enjoy things anyway, but there's a wrong way to enjoy things. There most certainly is. What's that David Lynch clip, and he's like, you think you like, you think you watched a film on your fucking telephone?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I went to go see Black Adam in theaters.
Well,
and I didn't.
How was it?
That's okay. It was a good. It's a superhero movie.
Is that with the Rock?
The Rock,
right?
yeah, that's why I saw it. And yeah, I'm like, I was like, even watching that, like, it's not a great movie. I was like, yeah, this is a lot better than watching it on my fucking computer out of a phone.
True, yeah.
Like,
I need to go. I think I'm going to go to the movies this weekend. It's been a while.
The cinema, a fun experience.
Yeah, there's the One Piece movie in theaters right now. I think I might go see that.
I'm not in the habit of going to see movies by myself, though. I don't know. I think it's weird. But like,
you think it's weird?
I don't know.
I think that's like it's good time to myself.
I went to see Your Name in theaters.
I did as well, actually.
I saw it myself.
I usually like going. It's kind of fun, but like most people just kind of like they don't want to go to the movies today. There aren't a lot of good movies in theaters, but
right now,
like, yeah, they all shrug.
Also not, yeah.
You know?
It's much easier to just watch it online. I downloaded a bunch of war movies once I started getting into Dan Carlin. I was wondering if you wanted to watch some with me.
Hell yes. Let's pick some. Let me know which ones you want to watch, and then we can.
I mean, I have them. The torrents already downloaded.
Nice. I mean, yeah. Just let me know which. Or yeah, I guess I don't know. What do you want to do first? We could.
I haven't looked at it. I still wanted to show you the Frank Zappa movie, 400.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We gotta pick a date to start getting through some of this stuff. Maybe some Impractical Jokers too.
I've watched all of Impractical Jokers like 3 times. I love that shit. Impractical Jokers is one of the greatest TV shows of all time. It's so fucking good. So I have Platoon. I have Doctor Strangelove.
Yo, I love Doctor Strangelove. Platoon is good.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yes.
Dunkirk.
Yes.
The Thin Red Line. Apocalypse Now. Saving Private Ryan, and Paths of Glory. Those are the war movies I downloaded.
I haven't seen Paths of Glory or Thin Red Line, but I think I like pretty much all of those that I have seen. I think Platoon. Platoon has got. Have you? Apocalypse. It's funny. Oh yeah, Apocalypse Now has got a Martin Sheen, and I think Platoon has got. Is that Charlie Sheen in Platoon?
I thought that was Tropic Thunder. No, that's no, that's Robert Downey Jr. Excuse me.
Yeah. It's Charlie Sheen in Platoon. So both father and son play are in some Vietnam movies.
You know, John Lennon was in a war movie.
He was?
It's called How I Won the War.
Well, how did he?
No, he dies. It's just a World War II movie. It's
Wow,
not that good.
Grip weed, huh?
Yeah, it's not that good, but it's funny seeing John Lennon in it. That's why I watched it. But
That is kind of he looks kind of. I'm looking at some of these pictures. He looks kind of funny here. But yeah, no, definitely. Let's fucking let's.
that's where he got the
let's do
iconic
that
glasses, the iconic circle glasses.
Is that where he started wearing those?
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's a weird John Lennon history.
it's because the guy who directed that movie also directed the Beatles movies, The Help and Hard Day's Night. Richard Lester.
Richard's brother of Mo.
Yeah. I have a whole fucking folder of videos, movies that I have not seen yet. Do you want to see this list? It's a lot longer.
Oh gosh, what's the list like?
Okay, from the top, Perfect Blue. I have not seen these.
Good. Yes.
2001: A
good.
Space Odyssey.
Yes.
Clockwork
Good.
Orange.
Mhm.
Amadeus. Big Man
yeah.
Japan from 2007.
I
I don't know what that is either. I just downloaded it. Blazing Saddles. Blue Velvet. Casablanca. Clifford the Big Red Dog 2021.
What?
E.T. the
Oh, the
Extraterrestrial.
IRL.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Fargo. Good Will Hunting. It's a Wonderful Life. Probably, I think I've seen that one just in a while. Masculine and Feminine by Jean-Luc Godard. I downloaded that when he died. Midnight Cowboy. Mirai. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. My Neighbor Totoro. My Little Pony: A New Generation. Psycho. Rain Man. Schindler's List. Shutter Island. Some Like It Hot. 1959. Suicide Club. 2018. Taxi Driver. The Graduate. I've seen that. That's one of my favorite movies. I don't know what's in this folder. The Manchurian Candidate. The Graduate. Yeah, I love The Graduate.
I haven't seen The Graduate.
That's so good. The Manchurian Candidate. End of the Toy. 2015. Godfather Trilogy. Good, the Bad, the Ugly. The Lobster. Tokyo Story. I've seen Tokyo Story. That's on my folder. Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory, and Won't You Be My Neighbor, and Who Am I, the Jackie Chan movie.
Jeez, quite a thick list you got there, but I think a lot of those are good. So
Yeah,
start chewing through some of those.
I've been watching The Nanny. That's why I haven't watched these.
Haven't you guys already seen like all of that show? Didn't you guys watch it together? Or?
I started watching it on the phone on server, but you know, what are you gonna do? I wanted to finish it, so.
Very very fun.
I've been watching that.
All right, Dune. I've got to wrap things up.
We didn't even do the. We haven't even got. Didn't ask the questions yet.
Oh gosh.
So.
Okay.
So tell me about your your early internet days. You Cito talked about like getting into World of Warcraft, and like Sean talked about like Call of Duty or something.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of stuff. I don't know. Like I don't know. I played a lot of console games. I was like I don't know. I did pre-internet was like.
Well, like your teenage years, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like before I was like really on the internet. I did.
Anything before you got into the PCP, basically.
Oh gosh, it's like everything. Like basically, I don't know. I got into the PCP post high school, which is weird.
So did
kinda. I mean, I guess it's like a lot of people did, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like there's a lot that I could get into, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was relatively normal. I played games, hung out with friends. I'd bum around town. Lived in a Midwest beach town.
You can't live in the Midwest and have a beach town. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The Great Lakes.
It's not a beach.
Yeah.
It's a lake.
Yeah. It's a beach on a lake. Lakes have beaches. A lot of tourists there. Very sunny, but
they put sand there. It doesn't make it a beach.
Well, they didn't put the sand there. The sand was already there. Like they didn't like have to landscape the
That's
whole
what you
thing.
want to just think.
I don't know. I feel like doing the work of glaciers is pretty hard.
Is that what they tell you? Glaciers?
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of. Yeah. That's the big glacier moving in. Form those lakes. That's before it was just like flat plains, and they're like, we're gonna make a lot of money out of this place.
Yeah.
How, you may ask?
Bring the beach to the Midwesterners.
Yeah. I guess before, like, I feel like there's something to say that I can't think of, but you know, it was like slow, but steady. You know,
I mean, you're the first
I'm
interviewee who mentioned having friends.
yeah. Oh, weird how that pans out. I mean, you know, I'm sure Cetal and Jelly. I know some of Jelly's friends.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. um. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I did a lot of weird. I did a lot of work, and I was a working man, real blue collar individual. Nothing of
Well, you know, I heard you went on a lot of
no.
trips to Europe.
Yeah, I did as a young boy.
Hardly blue
As a
collar.
no. Um yeah, when I was young, I went to a fine arts camp for the summer, and a couple of those times I did like an international tour. I spent a couple summers in Europe. Like I guess like a month at a time, not like a full summer. But that was big for me. That like changed me a lot. I think that got me into a lot of like that directly or indirectly led to me doing a lot of stuff that I do now. Met a lot of people.
You have
Did a lot of
you got a lot of historical flags inspired by your time in
yeah,
Germany.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you know, Munich really spoke to me. I just thought, you know, that's no, but Europe was life changing. And you know, maybe even some ways that I don't even realize, but just like the things I did there. Like some people, anybody can go to Europe, but like being able to do a lot of the stuff that I do, you know, play music, living in strangers' homes was a big one. But yeah, I don't know. There's I'm trying to just trying to like think about my life seems so much more fun now. You know, not post, I guess you know, mid internet. You know, I'm gonna have my post internet phase soon enough. I'll
Yeah.
just drop off the map.
And then we're gonna have our bomb phase.
Yeah, that comes after the post internet phase. That's the mail phase.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some things to look fondly back on, but yeah, I don't know. I had I guess to get into the ways that my life would be different would be weirdly personal, or like you know, maybe some weird things to share. But I think in most ways I was, you know, relatively normal. I didn't have a weird call to action. Rather, just you know, just I liked I started to like anime more and more, and I kind of was like looking for people to talk to about it. So I think that's kind of how that.
So that leads you to the were you any part of any internet communities before the PCP? Before you?
Really no. Well, like it was like I didn't really. I was in Discord servers, but like I never interacted with any. I wasn't really comfortable using Discord pre Radcon 4.
There seems to be a running. This is definitely a running theme.
It kind of got me to start like using Discord. It was like, oh, I kind of want to interact with some of these people.
Like these are the most like specific interest group of people that you'll ever be in.
Yeah, it was just like because of this group of interests, it can connect me with like a lot of people with tangential interests or like similar individuals. It's funny because like I would describe every pro and non person like very differently from each other, and like there's like one thing that drew them together, but like all I share interests with like pretty much everybody in some way. Like we all kind of do, but it's all different.
Yeah, in different ways.
Yeah, like the way I might talk to Shinny about stuff is not the same way I might talk to Cetal or No Need Bra or Elizar or Jelly. You know, it's such a cool thing being able to make friends like that. I think that's like, you know, talking to some other people closer in real life, it's like, you know, actually this is like a resource that not everybody could technically do it, but like it doesn't just like, you know, fall into people's hands.
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way.
Well, hey, it was a group idea, dude, okay, you know.
Sure it was.
You did make the server.
Yeah, someone had to take the initiative.
Very true.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between like internet relationships and like in-person relationships. It's like in-person relationships are mostly proximity based, like people you work with, people you went to school with.
Yeah,
it's like how often have you gone to like a club, like the town chess meeting is on the city hall today, let's go see that. It's like, no. I'm sure at some point, or church I guess would be the other one, but that's still your local church. I mean, at no other time in history could you be friends with someone from Australia, let alone two.
Yeah. Too many.
Yeah.
No, I would like to make it to Australia. Who thought they would be so friendly? Friendly over there.
Yeah, I like them.
I tolerate them.
So how did you get into the PCP?
It just popped up on my feed one day. It was just like well, vaguely, because I think I had seen a couple, or like a couple episodes popped up in my feed, and I listened to them, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of like fun or whatever. And then I think I was like also being recommended Digi stuff, and of course Digi was like all anime content. I was like, oh, this is actually stuff I wanted to listen to. And then Digi, I saw that Digi had like a music recommendations video, and I was like, wait, this is all music. Like, wait, I like a lot of the same music as this person, so maybe I would like a lot of these shows that they also like as well. It was like very specific like music stuff too, but I just it was kind of that music recommendation video that kind of like, maybe I should like do more of this. And then I don't know, one thing kind of led us like, oh, this is like a podcast they are on. I see. And yeah, I think through that, just kind of more and more. Eventually, I just started becoming like listening to it regularly, for a while, and then just then just kind of stopped. I mean, after it stopped, it stopped being good pretty quickly.
Skipped 2 years, I think.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So
I don't know. They're all charming individuals.
How did you end up in the Vatican 4 Discord server specifically? Or like before that, like did you?
Because Radcon 3 kind of passed me by. No, not really. Because Radcon 3 kind of passed me by. I was like, yeah, I really dropped the ball on that. I was like, it would have been cool to like kind of like see some of that stuff, or like like all these like they get some like. It'd be cool to get some of these cool backer rewards, or like get the behind the scenes stuff. I'm sure.
Interesting about Radcon 3 is that like, I also like. I was really hyped. Radcon 1 happened like a little bit after I started watching PCP, so I enjoyed it. And Radcon 2 was like a second one, awesome. And Radcon 3 was like kind of like lame and perhaps it's underrated, but like I don't remember. Like it kind of passed me by too. But when I think Radcon 4 was like the last, the one that was like, what is the last one? But it was like, you know what, I dedicated enough time to PCP to justify like spending like to getting invested into one of them, and I kind of felt like the last one anyway. I think even at the time, did you get that feeling? Like this
I mean, things were definitely like changing, right? But it was like it was like a weird feeling when things started, because it was weird because like Radcon 4, they didn't like. I feel like expectations were kind of low, honestly. Even though they like said they were gonna do this, and that, and then like Jesse showed up, and I was like, oh wait, maybe things are gonna finally start ramping up, and then like nothing was like really coming out, and then I was like, oh, like I don't know, it was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, well I guess this is how it's gonna be.
Well, hold
I
on.
was just kind of like, I think I like, because that's where we met, was that meetup.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what made you drive from Mississippi, wherever you live, Mississippi?
I flew from Michigan to Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Because I thought, honestly, I don't know. I just kind of like did it on a whim. I was like, this sounds kind of fun. It'd be kind of, because I don't know anybody that like also like I thought it'd be cool to like meet other fans because I didn't really know any other fans.
Yeah.
And I was like, it might be cool. Who knows what would happen? But I was like, I kind of just want to like go somewhere. So, because I had just kind of been, I had been kind of living on my own for a bit at that point. So I was like, I'm just kind of bored, man.
In Corona was happening.
Yeah, well, that was when it had just started.
While we were there, Corona was like, oh, there's like a thing called coronavirus.
Yeah, well, there was like people were like, I'm not sure if I'm
coronavirus
like
reached America. It was like, oh.
Yeah, that I remember. I wore a mask kind of like as a joke.
Yeah.
And then May also Amanda Morris also wore a mask.
Amanda Valve. You mean?
Yeah. Valve. Are they married? Did she change her name?
I don't know if she changed her name, but they are married.
But yeah, she spotted me and she's like, "Yo, let's take a picture together." There's still a picture of us up, I think. I could probably look for it on her Instagram. She's kind of, she was actually kind of nice in person, but I always thought May was kind of weird. But it was very funny. But yeah, I had like smoking a cigarette through my face mask, and I don't know, everybody there, it was like a weird gaggle of people, and it was like between like being pretty funny and kind of cringy, like, but it was a funny gathering.
What could be cringy about some fucking person? There's like a guy there who was wearing like a priest costume, like a Trump hat.
That is based. That's based.
What happened to that guy?
Yeah, I wonder. Well, who knows if they're even a guy anymore?
Yeah. They're dead. Anyway. Yeah. That meetup. It did feel like a weird like psychic. I should go to this. You know what? I'll do it.
Yeah,
you know what?
It was like a call. It was like a calling almost.
Yeah.
I was like,
this is one of those weird historical what ifs. Like, I mean, like if we didn't, well, I'm trying to think. If I didn't go to that thing, neither of us went. Because it's not like we met there and like connected.
We didn't immediately like hit it off.
Like, even when we started phoning on, I was like, oh yeah, you were the guy. We had a picture together.
Yeah, we had taken a picture with like us and two other guys.
It's like 5 other guys.
Yeah, well, it was us two, and then initially there were 2 others, and then there was like another one. It was Kyrie that showed up. Batsling, Son of Marowak,
the Jeff the guy.
Yeah. And you, me, Kyrie, Son of Marowak, and Batsling. Yeah, that was who was in the photo around the statue.
Mm-hmm. The lady took a picture of us.
And it was the lady. She was in like animal print or something. It was just it's so weird because I was like, oh yeah, wait, I recognize some of these guys from like the Discord that I never participate in. But yeah, I don't know that. And then of course, like months later, there's that fated Discord call that drew me in. I was like, I'd recognize some of these folks. What are they up to? Maybe I can. I don't know. It just seemed I had to poke my head in.
Why not? And I was like, yeah.
And it all hinged on Simon not showing up. To,
the absence of Simon really brought us all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like weird. Because like we got on the call and then we talked for like 8 hours, just like immediately hit it off.
Yeah.
And like I think our rapport hasn't really changed that much since like not like we had like the same relationship level, but like we got pretty friendly pretty quick.
Yeah, it all kind of clicked in place. We're just like, oh yeah, maybe we should do this stupid idea for. I think we were like, this is like a silly idea.
Just like a podcast. Like, yeah, we should do a podcast. And I was like,
And to think of all the ire that we generated in the process, all the.
I mean, we did end the PCP. In fact,
it was our fault. Yeah, all us. It was funny because we did like a week in advance call Digi transitioning.
I mean, Sean did break up the PCP with one JPEG.
What was the JPEG?
The weird champ.
Oh. Yes.
I mean,
You
that
see,
because that directly led to Ben and Digi arguing, and Tom,
yeah.
and then Digi be like, I don't want to fucking deal with these people.
I totally forgot, and it blows my mind. Because I know some other people that are familiar with some of the members, and they have like a totally different perspective. Like most people don't know what happened inside that Discord server.
Yeah, even though we've made videos explaining it, you gotta go watch the. You link them to the podcast, the reunion podcast, the one we got Ben, Tom, and to give on.
Yeah, the reunion. Oh wait,
the Radcon 4 anniversary podcast.
Yeah, gosh, there's so much that's easy to forget about, but yeah, that's like, yeah, I mean the stuff that went on in that Discord server really pushed a lot of that forward, and it was a pretty shitty Kickstarter thing. Like, I don't know, it was like they didn't really do, like, Ben really carried the weight of that whole.
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
Ben and Tom.
He made a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
Because all the other members quit, and he just gets half the money of the Patreon now.
Yeah, well, it's good for him.
Brilliant. Real mover and shaker, that Ben Saint.
But yeah, that's kind of like how we got here, more or less.
Yeah, we wouldn't be friends without Ben Saint. Thank you, Ben Saint.
Thanks, Ben Saint. But I don't know. It's led me into meeting so many other people, not even just in pro. I made some real good friends just in the sphere. And it's been a good ride so far.
So I had the list of questions I have for the other ones maybe a bit outdated now, but what are your plans for the Pronon? Like, what do you think is gonna happen with the Pronon?
We're gonna bring it back. We're bringing it back. We did talk about doing something before the end of the year, but the plans are loose at best at this point. But I think we want to put something out this year.
Well,
I'm not sure what.
You're welcome.
Well, this, yeah. I mean, yeah. We gotta accessorize this though. It can't be.
Why not?
But yes. Okay, yeah. We've got this. And yeah, I don't know. Just some fun content. I don't know. Maybe another stream that doesn't get any viewers.
I mean, you don't do streams for the viewers. You do it for the Cito can watch them later.
Yeah, exactly. So we can play Worms and justify our terrible habits. Yeah, but we were thinking of something like edited too. I don't know. Maybe it won't happen, but yeah. Pronon is content to be as it is, I guess. I don't know what else. We'd have to. I think if we were gonna go forward, we'd really have to rebrand.
Yeah. Anonymous Procrastinators. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, just saying Pronon on its own is okay.
Yeah, he's saying it's not in the death throes.
Well, it's dormant.
Like a volcano.
Yeah, waiting to explode. Waiting to shoot up a school.
UHC 2, baby, let's go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we could. Yeah. I mean, Jelly just declared himself the winner of a non-existent UHC to become king of games. So, we could.
What?
Could oust him. Yeah.
I mean, he is the. I mean, I guess he is the Caesar in the situation.
Yeah, he did just get made ruler. So.
Yeah. I guess that makes me Sulla.
Yeah, perhaps.
I just became addicted to fix it. And I retired peacefully and died of like liver cancer or something.
I will be and when I get to the top, I will be Nero, and I will pick someone to be my Sporus.
Sean's Tiberius, definitely.
Yeah.
Or is it Octavian?
Maybe.
Who knows? So what are your plans in general? What's going on in your life? What are you doing?
Well, I'm a beer brewer. I make beer. That's what I do. I'm working away, slaving away. I think I want to have a business one day.
Sounds like a blues song.
Yeah. That's all I do is I sing the blues. Well, Uh, I don't, there's a lot of stuff I want. I want money, Dune. I want to be able to. I don't know. There's a. I like I like beverages. I like food. I like liberty. I like guns, Dune. I want to.
You don't need a gun license in Georgia to buy a gun.
No, neither here, neither here. But I suppose you do in some other states now. Sorry, Sean. But yeah, I don't know. Just securing my future. That is my plan. I don't know how. I don't know exactly how. I could do a number of other things. I've been every week I have some other dumb idea for new business, but I'm too lazy. Too lazy. But hopefully I'm young enough to turn things around, and that's my goal, I guess. Just to carve out a nice little space in this world for myself.
Yeah.
Who knows what I'm gonna do?
Everyone with their own vine and fig tree, as Washington said.
Yes.
Something.
I think that sounds about right. I mean, it's a good idea.
I agree. Well, we've been going for about 2.5 hours. You think that's it? I think that's a good thing we can call it.
Yeah, I think that's good. Thank you all diehard Pronon fans for finding out my immensely detailed origin story.
Your favorite Dan Carlin episodes.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is that I'm a Dan Carlin fan. I think everything else can go.
I think history is more interesting than like any television show or media program.
Yeah. I think good history is better than any fiction. I mean, in some ways, history can be a little bit of fiction. They spice it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think everything else. I think everything else that I could have to say about myself doesn't matter so much in the way of cool history podcasts. And beer. I could go on for hours about. I'll have the beer cast one day. I'll just. I don't know. It's hard to conjure up a bunch of stuff, to just talk about sometimes, I'm sure anybody who knows me would laugh at that because listening to myself talk about myself.
We did talk
all
for
the time.
2.5 hours about literally nothing.
Yeah. Maybe Reido cast a Reido interview part 2. This is part 1 of a two-part series. we open it up after we've seen about 3 more Dan Carlin episodes. Like, this one is. We'll come back.
We should do a Dan Carlin recap episode.
Yeah, it's the Dan Carlin review.
We'll watch
Dan Carlin Listeners Anonymous.
I'd have fun doing that.
I mean, it's even reading a little history of an addendum, an extra. What does he call his like? I think it's addendum or something like that. But perfecto. It's good. It's good to get some talk in. Just a little Dune and I. Just a little, a little one-on-one.
Yeah, I like talking to you guys.
It's good.
Who do you think I should interview next?
This is the new bit. Who's on the list? Are we going core first or?
I guess Sean already had one.
It's true. So I would say. If we're not going core necessarily, you've got some good options, either Shinny or Simid. I think Shinny would be good. Simid would be a fun one too, because like Simid, as we talked about earlier, Simid was kind of like the catalyst for this whole situation. Because you've got Sean, Cetal, and Jelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now me. So, I feel like Zach intentionally being the most elusive. If he gets one at all, it needs to be last, or close to the end, or maybe
I'll do like a 10-hour one with Zach, and then it'll be like classified FBA documents, and then release it in like chunks.
It's like a 10-hour video, but most of it's redacted.
Yeah.
You can't hear it. It's like
just muffled black. Yeah.
That'd be funny. It'd be a good one. I'm sure he'd love
most
that.
of it it's not the interview. It's just someone remembering the interview.
It was horrible.
It's just secondhand accounts of the interview.
Yeah, secondhand accounts of this situation tell a different story.
And Cicero, who was the premier historian at the time, recalls the event as this.
Ancient historian Herodotus writes.
And Dune Kun asked him about his early days on the internet, and sources say that Zach Death didn't really do much. He played Adventure Quest online.
Flash games. Miraculously, DNA tests on this skeleton reveal an ancestry from.
And we can't always trust Herodotus because you have to imagine he's performing this in front of an audience with people who are actually there and remembered it. There's a lot of context we're missing. But if we throw out Herodotus, then what do we have left?
You got to think about the cultural carrots and bones of the situation. You can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. So sometimes the Dan Carlin impression turns into a little bit of a Joker. Yeah. Dan Carlin's the Joker.
If the Joker talked like Dan Carlin, that'd be a good Joker. I think if he was was really into history. That'd be fucking good.
I can see Dan. I'm not a
historian. I just like history.
I'm just ahead of the curve.